nice and clear too. Alright, so for today we are going through with our solo session with one of our fellow adventurers, Oliver. So, Oliver, what can you tell me what you remember from last session?
Well, from what I recall, we had been, of course, adventuring since the zombie explosions, and we spent some time trapped in the basement of a tavern. However, we fought our way out, saved a couple civilians rather heroically, if I may say so myself, and have proceeded on to the sewers. At which point we determined that a certain noble was hiding a bite from us, something that my companions took rather an issue with. Unfortunately, that noble failed to comply and has since been left as a corpse, quite possibly to join the Horde, if I'm to be honest, but we tried to do our best to make sure that didn't happen. We proceeded on, at which point the cave collapsed, a poor child, lost his mother, and my group, which consists of myself, the barbarian, the orc, unfortunately, and a rather scared group of civilians, have been trapped on one side, whereas the rest of the party has been trapped on the other.
I do want to add a little thing in there because this NPC was so good at hiding from me that I forgot he completely existed. The barkeep was also with you all.
The barkeep's with us?
I completely...
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was looking through the journal. I was like, oh, there was one more.
Speaking of, I see blackness on the map.
Which map are you on? I mean,
I'm probably on the wrong map.
Yeah, let me separate your character. Or I can just take you to this blank, actually. This is nice.
What was the barbarian's name again?
Lilith. Yep.
Yeah, your standard fantasy name for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're rather attached to that name.
It's a good name.
It is a good name. I got Kara, you got Lilith. Tim has... Shit, what was it? Well, what's the name Tim always uses? Tim has a name. Unfortunately, I can't remember it right now, but...
I can't remember it right now, actually, yeah. Alright. Actually, I can just move you to the world map.
The rats are over there being adorable. It's rather distracting.
Where's my... Oh, okay. I found out, for some reason, my cat likes to yell at my neighbors.
Oh, what's up with these dudes hanging out on the world map?
Oh, these were, some NPCs. That...
For the other session?
No. Actually, y'all...
I have to say, if they made it all the way up there, I'm a little concerned about how far I'm going this session.
If they made... Oh my god, if they made it up that far, I would be very shocked.
That's probably like Act 3, isn't it?
Not... Hopefully not. That's what wasn't what I was going for.
And one of them was actually standing on the BBEG's lair at the end of the last session.
Oh man!
Already ready to fight God.
Oh, I'm excited for y'all to find that out.
That God's fun. Behind everything.
Oh, that would be fucking trippy. But
no, it would make sense if like the God of Death was like, "Hey, I'm not getting enough people. There's not enough war going on. Just Papa Nurgle got unhappy. He unleashed a plague."
I was even like thinking like, have you heard of that comic, God is Dead?
I have not.
Oh, it's...
I heard about the movie.
No. Fuck that movie.
I didn't watch it.
It's bad. It's really bad. Literally the ending of that movie, it's like the antagonists get hit by a car and they're like, it's okay. He converted to Christianity. He's with God now. And they start celebrating his death.
I'm Catholic. That ain't right.
Like,
that ain't how we do things.
I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god. I was like, even when I was like extremely religious, like I still saw death as like, that's an unfortunate thing. Especially, he got hit by a car. It was a hit.
Yeah, that is a straight up tragedy.
I'm like, god damn. All right. Cool. No wonder a lot of people think we're crazy.
Oh.
I'm adding this on here because I forgot I didn't add it to the map.
Adding what on?
If you see the little drawing I did.
Oh, that little tiny thing. Hold on, let me zoom way in. 130%. There we go. It's a diamond of sorts.
Yep, it's a... I'm just gonna say now it's a town.
Oh, there's Meryl. She hella dead. Until she isn't.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we have not seen the last of Meryl. Just considering how much setup you put into making this character stand out.
I'm not gonna lie, I put a lot of characters in there. I'd be excited. I'm excited for y'all to go through the story. Alright. So
Actually, did I confirm the death of Meryl? Did I like see her body, or was she just in the explosion? I think I specifically searched for it.
You didn't meet Meryl. Tim was the one who met Meryl.
Who was the one at my tournament then?
Cleo.
Right, Cleo dead. Cleo very dead.
Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I confirmed the death. Just gonna toss that one out there, Chief. I'm pretty sure I did specifically look for the body. But honestly, I don't remember. And at this point, we're far enough in already that the viewers are gonna know better than we do.
Yeah.
If there are viewers, who knows? If anyone's hearing this, leave a comment down below.
Hopefully. It'd be fun if we did. Alright. So we're getting back into the scene. So, Oliver, you come to, though you did not fall, your vision's kind of shaken up a bit from the massive explosion, from the collapse of the sewers. The sound is like deafening when it happens, and it kind of leaves a ringing in your ear. Though eventually it didn't happen. It didn't take too long. Your hearing comes back to you, and the dust cloud that kind of formed at the epicenter of the collapse starts to clear up. So you cannot see from the our side of it. You can kind of see little pinholes a bit. And if you look through it, you can see there's like another source of light. This one being from the outside. How do you react?
Well, just as Oliver is regaining his footing and as his hearing is returning, he's gonna like quickly drop his ears, like clear as much of the dust out of them as he can. Got to take care of those big old things. And just kind of like dust himself off, and then full use of his rabbit speed and agility, bouncing around between all of the different members of the party, just helping people up, going, asking, "Are you all right? Is anyone injured?" Other than, of course, and then he doesn't really have a way to say that. I mean, he's supposed to be the happy, cheery one. How is he supposed to say, "Yeah, one of our group is fucking dead"?
Right.
That's not a thing he's meant to say.
I would say at this point, Oliver doesn't know who. All he heard was like
someone. He heard bone crunching, I'm assuming, under the rubble.
Yeah, you hear a scream, a crunch, and like just, yeah.
Which, he is a soldier. He knows he's not unfamiliar with death. He's killed, and he has seen people be killed. Mm-hmm. But this is just unfortunate. There's something so impersonal, so just random about what has happened, and he doesn't really have a word for it now.
Yeah, I would say like this whole situation is just like you said, you've seen battle, you've seen death, but this whole situation with the town, now the sewers, is just like, what's even happening? But
sorry, that should help me focus a little bit more.
Oh, you're good. And as you're helping up some certain people, you see like the shop keeps a younger man. You see he kind of has like maybe a rock fell on his head a bit. Fell on his head. Nothing too bad that would cause like him to knock out or concussion, but you do see blood kind of coming out a bit. You see a bigger man, a bulkier man with a shield with a pained facial expression as he kind of gets up and dusts himself off. You help out. You definitely help out Martin. That was the
The
barkeep.
barkeep,
Yep, Marcus. Fuck, even I forgot
Marcus.
his name. Oh my god.
Martin seems actually Martin's a fantasy name.
Yeah,
Martin the Warrior, little Redwall reference for you.
but I have him down as Marcus. Sadly, I think I said his name.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's fine.
you help Marcus up. He was closer to the epicenter, but he seems to be relatively fine. As you hear Hester kind of cough, going, "Are we all good?"
Well, not quite actually. If you'd like to have a look at that gentleman over there, does anyone have a medicine kit or any sort of bandage that we might be able to use for this poor gentleman over here with the skull trauma?
Oh, you hear Lilith pipe in. Here, I got something for that. Come over here.
I'm gonna motion Lilith over to where the young man with the head wound is,
Gotcha.
and then I myself I'm gonna run over to the other guy who seems hurt and ask him what is wrong.
He goes, "Oh no, I'm fine." But as you can see on the shield, it has like a pain facial expression on it.
Oh, the shield has the expression.
Yeah, it's the shield.
I thought you.
If I remember correctly.
So it reflects his current state,
Yep.
and I'm aware of this.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. You've been around him for a bit. You've probably seen the shield change facial expressions. So
I'm gonna place one hand on his. I'm gonna place one hand on his shoulder and just. Obviously not, sir. Your shield, but your shield betrays you. Well, what appears to be the issue?
it's fine. I think I maybe just hurt my leg a bit.
All right, I'm going to. What would it be to try to diagnose the leg? Would that be like a medicine?
Yeah, that would definitely be a medicine check.
I'm not proficient in this, but I do have a +3 wisdom, so
All right.
I'm not terrible either, and I have rolled a 14.
So, how would you say you're like trying to figure out what's wrong with his leg?
Oh, just like a visual dressing down of just looking for first of all the angle of the leg, like seeing if it's just twisted or if the ankle might be out of socket. Secondly, I don't know how well armored he is, but if it's like cloth armor, definitely checking for any sort of blood stains, anything of that nature, tearing, just based purely on sight, not actually like grabbing his leg or anything. Can I tell what he is hurt? And he hasn't actually said which leg, which makes my job harder, I would think.
Yeah.
But
it makes it a bit harder though. If you're kind of just looking, he does have pants on, which kind of like makes things a little bit harder. But
yeah.
You do notice kind of like some bleeding on like his left leg. Doesn't look like there's anything. It's definitely enough to like soak through his pants, but it doesn't seem like it's like spreading too fast.
So it's not like a major artery's been cut. It's like he's got like a gash or something.
Yeah. Just from your
All right.
visual observation.
Does he have like a cloak or anything on?
No, he's actually wearing he's actually shirtless.
Ah. Let's see. What do I have? I got a bedroll I might be able to use. But just I'll call out to the group, and I wouldn't suppose anyone here has a spare scrap of cloth I might be able to use to bind this man's leg.
If you're looking around, you do see that the younger man with like a cane with a red jewel on it, the one who's being treated by Lilith, he has a cloak on, though he does not seem to hear what you're saying.
Cane with a red jewel would seem to imply some things to me. And those things would also imply to Oliver that he needs the cloak. Because I'm assuming I've worked with mages before. I mean, obviously there's 2 in the group.
Yeah.
Three in the group.
Yeah, even on the ship, through your travels, and even on the battlefield, you've definitely seen your fair share of magic users.
All right. Set of leather armor, that doesn't really work. I don't have normal clothes, which is very unfortunate, honestly. I guess the rabbit doesn't need to change of clothes. Leather is fine.
You got that fur, so.
I do have the fur. The fur is clothes. It's 100% not, and the rabbit folk are aware of this, but the fur at least has a layer between the leather, so it's probably not sticking to my fur quite as much
Yeah,
as
at
it
least
would for like
at least
normal
it
skin.
protects you from like the just weather in general.
Yeah. So the young man's got a cloak. Other than that, pretty much all the makeshift bandages of sorts are in use right now.
Yeah, like you said, like you can try to like tear off like piece of clothing from anywhere, but like if the young man's cloak is definitely like something that would probably be preferable if you're kind of just doing like a if you're just trying to think of what to do.
Yeah, I'll kind of hop over and just kind of just obviously not trying to interfere with the healing process, which I'm guessing is magical based on what I'm aware of, but might not be. Who knows? And just kind of, sir, if I may, the man over there would greatly benefit from having some sort of binding. Might I use your cloak?
How does the fuck? I'm trying to get his voice. Well, this is my school uniform and all, but I guess it's fine.
School uniform?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Oliver's ripping a little chunk off the cloak and going to bind the man's leg.
Okay.
He sees no use for school. Oliver is not a learned man.
It's like all.
Minus intelligence on a rogue, okay?
Oh god, this guy's a fucking chump.
Yeah, so he'll use one of his knives, cut just enough off to like wrap it around and tie it off, and then head back and try to bind the man's leg. Try to help staunch the bleeding.
Yeah, and as you're doing this, you kind of hear Hester yelling to the people on the other side of the group, and you do hear confirmation that the mother was the one that was killed in the sewer collapse.
Mm.
And then, as you're kind of like tying it together and starting to finish up binding the cloak to the leg, you do hear like a muffled thump. It comes up as one, but slowly starts to increase in speed. 2, then 3, then 4, then 10.
Yeah, I had a feeling this was coming, but Oliver would be more concerned about the medicine. How close to completion is the bandage right now? Is it done? Is it ready?
Yeah, it's like if you're just doing like a makeshift bandage, it's not like you're trying to do like a medical procedure. You're just trying to like close up the wound.
Yeah, just like basic like field. I think triage is the right word.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just like some very very basic, just staunch the bleeding. That's like, yeah. So if that's done, then definitely Oliver's ears are gonna perk up, rotate towards the sound, kind of point in that direction, and then I'm assuming he already had one knife out to like cut any loose ends off and all that.
Yeah.
And just pass that to his offhand, with his other hand pull out his rapier.
Yeah.
And just slowly stand up. Actually, no. He is going to pull out 2 knives in order to keep it a little more subtle, in order to not panic the civilians.
Yeah. Well, you can't really see where the something is coming from, but if you hear from the direction, it's behind the rubble. You can kind of see like some of the little pockets of light that you can see through like some of the some areas we can see through the rubble, like kind of blink in and out, like something is passing by it, and then you start to hear the familiar moans, the groggles, and some of the form of speech of like help or please, I'm sorry.
And that's coming from the other side of the rubble.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing from the mouth of the sewers right now, right?
Unless you want to check.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about what's on the other side of the rubble, because that is something for the other group to deal with.
Yep.
So, at least Oliver believes that it is. I mean, out of character, I know what happened on the other side of that wall, and I know about the message and everything, but Oliver don't, unfortunately. Boy, do I wish he did. So, yeah, Oliver's gonna There it is again. The green frame. Why the green frame? Why do you do this, camera? Anyways, yeah, Oliver's going to kind of move towards the mouth of the cave. Keep one. I don't. Can rabbit ears point in two different directions? I don't know if they can.
Um, I'm
But
sure
just
they
kind of.
can. That's like a common like herbivore trait, if I remember correctly.
All right, then one ear pointed towards the sound that he does hear, and the other ear pointed towards the suspicious sounding, the suspicious silence from from the entrance of the sewer. Because, if you remember, right before the collapse, what's his name? Big ol' orc bastard.
Hester.
Orc bastard. That's his name.
Hester.
Hester. Yeah, Hester and Oliver did check that area, and we saw that there were zombies over there, or what do you call them? The infected, the ravenous. What was it?
Well, our group knows the name, but the
My group does not.
Yep.
Okay,
So
then for now they are zombies.
Yeah.
Despite being British, he is calling them zombies. But, all right. So yeah, he's gonna start moving towards the mouth of the cave. Keep his ears open for any change in the sound behind, or from sound in the front.
Yeah. Okay. I guess maybe just a general perception check then.
Perception.
Yep.
All right. And that is a 21.
All right. Yeah. So I'll start with the one behind you. So the sound you can hear behind you, it's not too difficult to hear. You hear Hester tell them to, once you get out of the mouth of the cave, head west. Then you should head to a place called Fort Forlorn. And then you hear footsteps and the moans start to kind of fade as you can kind of assume that they're going further and further away. And then as you're kind of looking and observing in front of you, you do see that the two that you saw earlier are starting to slowly make their way to the mouth of the cave, being, of course, attracted to the explosion that just occurred.
All right. Then I know that there's no other rabbit folk in this group, but Oliver is going to do the classic rabbit thing of stomp the ground really hard to try to notify people.
Right.
I don't know whether that'll work because it's not actually like it's not mechanically a part of the game at all. But maybe we could rule it like thieves can't, although I doubt any of them are proficient in thieves can't either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like, you're doing this and people aren't really paying too much attention as like there's just a lot going on like at the other side. They just hear like basically just a horde start to come down on the other group. You see Lilith kind of like hesitant on like it looks like she's completed her treatment on the young merchant, but you see she's like very worried for someone on the other side.
All right. Then how close are the two other, or between Lilith, Hester, and Marcus, who's the closest to the mouth of the cave right now? And how close are they?
I would say Lilith would be the closest one, but if you're just talking about people in general, the person you actually just treated would be closest to the mouth of the cave currently.
Does he have a weapon?
Oh, he just has a shield.
Then he's useless to me. Oliver knows the difference between a civvy and a soldier, and he ain't fucking with civvies right now, other than Marcus, because Marcus has proven himself. Marcus, I think, killed a zombie already.
Yeah, he has.
So Marcus has proven himself as worthwhile. The rest of them are dead weight, which sounds awful. Don't get me wrong; he's not abandoning them, but they're dead weight.
Yeah, you're just identifying.
Then, yeah, Oliver's just gonna turn and face him himself. Then, just kind of step outside the cave real quick.
Okay.
Have a look, see which one's closest, and probably move to engage.
All right, I'm just gonna put two. You can move your token onto the map if you want to.
All right. It sounds like a great way for Oliver to just die.
I was about to say.
But we'll see. Soloing 2 zombies. This is gonna go well.
Alright, I'll say they're about like... One's probably about like 60 feet away from you, and the other one's about 50 feet away from you. So let me measure out.
60 is there. 50 is like there.
Alright. So I'm going to have them roll.
Let me remind myself of what the range of a thrown dagger is. It is 60 feet exactly. Would you look at that?
Nice, there we go.
A disadvantage at 60 feet, mind you, but 60 feet up nonetheless.
Ooh, let me,
A foot is a foot by any other name.
As long as you can attack, that's all that matters, quite honestly.
Yeah. Because these things aren't, like, overly tanky, if I remember correctly. They did one-shot me yesterday.
Yeah, they one-shot you at one point, but that was like a crit.
And I've also leveled up since then.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't get one-shotted this time around. And the sounds of battle will probably alert the other two anyways.
Alright. So, if you roll, can you roll initiative for me?
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Select token. Boop. Turn tracker is around. Good. I don't have my super busted initiative yet, so I've rolled an 8.
Whoa.
You know, I got two decent rolls earlier. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
If this is the price that I pay, I'm still going before one of the zombies.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, we wound up with a 4, an 8, and a 16, so, neat.
Alright, so their one is just going to use its full movement just to try to get closer to you.
Okay.
Which is, if I remember correctly, just about 40.
Oh, shit, I forgot they were fast.
Like, they're shambling.
Oh, wait, no, is this dashing?
Yeah, they're dashing.
Oh, okay. So he's not actually going to be able to...
He's not going to be able to attack you.
Yeah, great. Here, I'll actually, if you pick it up and then right-click, you should be able to...
Oh, pick it up and right-click?
Yeah, you should be able to move it and still see the distance.
Okay, let me put him back where he was. Yep, right there. Alright, and that concludes his turn.
Alright.
Now you.
Alright, so... Man, if only I was level 3, Swashbuckler would be so nice right now. But unfortunately, we just hit level 2, so we're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
All the same, I'm going to close in. How is the terrain looking? Anything I could use to get a leg up?
Sadly, no. This seems to be about, like, just some...
Pretty open?
Yeah, like this some, like...
Pretty open, fairly flat?
Yeah, there's some grasslands, it seems like.
An entrance to a sewer, so there's probably, like, a slight incline for the water to run down, but, like...
It's something, like, that would give you a slight advantage or not, like...
Yeah. I'm not, like, on a ledge. I'm not gonna be able to Assassin's Creed leap of faith off this thing, right?
You don't have the high ground, sadly.
You underestimate my power. But... yeah, Oliver's just gonna pull his left-hand dagger, flip it around, and just ram it into the neck area. Hopefully, he's gonna swing at the neck area.
Okay. Make me the attack.
So that is a 23 to hit.
Yep, that does indeed hit.
For ignore the sneak attack because I'm not a swashbuckler yet, but still 8 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
And then gonna like quickly follow it up, try to like sneak under the I'm swinging backwards left. Should probably like move to the side, move a little bit to the right here.
Okay.
Try to get under the right arm, try to prevent him from attacking him. Mechanically nothing but flavor.
Yeah.
And then swing with my other dagger because why the hell not? That's a 24 to hit.
Yep, that does indeed hit as well.
For 1 more piercing damage.
Right, there we go. Yeah, you kind of like hit his armpit. Like you kind of know that's like a sensitive area for like regular people, but
Zambies, not so much.
Yeah, so
I might be giving this camera to Frank instead if that fucking green frame keeps coming up.
I'm telling you, the government is
That's
like
annoying me.
government is watching us. They may be interested. I wonder if they're interested in the show then.
Hey, that's the thing. FBI, if you're watching, let us know if we're doing well.
And he's just going to use his full movement speed to go right there.
All right.
So you're kind of not in danger yet, but all right. So the one that you just attacked, he's going to kind of, though like they move slow, he does kind of lunge really fast, and he's going to do a slam attack on you. Does an
Okay.
18 hit?
Let me double check my armor class, although I can't believe that it would miss. It does in fact hit.
Fuck.
How much?
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, that's not bad. No, not bad. Not the end of the world. I got this.
All right.
I'm still out damaging the zombie. No harm, no foul.
All right.
And so yeah, then Oliver's just gonna, stab again.
All right. Stab away.
And this time he is going to rotate back forwards before he does so, using 5 feet of movement, and I do need to keep track of that. It's going to be important in just a second here.
Gotcha.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes, it does indeed hit.
All right, for another 7 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
This left-hand knife is now his favorite knife. This thing is dishing today.
Seemed like your new lucky knife.
It is my lucky knife until I toss it in another river.
Until you give it to another person to just throw it.
All right, now, as I am now a level 2 rogue, I'm going to disengage as a bonus action. Meaning he cannot make an attack of opportunity. How far am I outside the sewer?
He was about 60 feet. He went up about 40 feet, and you engaged, which was about 20 feet. So I would say about like 20 feet, yeah.
Alright. Then I'm going to use my remaining 25 feet of movement and get the hell out of Dodge. Get back into the mouth of the sewer.
All right.
So on the map, that would be there.
All right.
And yeah, that'll be Oliver's turn. And at this point, like, sounds of battle, do I see my companions becoming aware of the situation?
Give me 1 second. Yeah, actually. Like, excuse me. Probably hearing some, like, the moans and groans are starting to sound a bit louder, and, hitting bone can be really loud, especially if you break them, which it looks like you have.
Ooh, I like that.
So, you see the first one to kind of take attention is Lilith, as she's already having her battle axe out, or her guitar instrument. Either or, quite honestly. And then you see also Hysteria start to take notice as he's taking out his shield and greatsword. I'd say it'd take about maybe one turn before, like, one more round before they actually get there.
Okay.
So, with that, it is going to be this guy's turn. Civvy number 1. And he's just going to move.
Oh, Zambi Civi. Okay. I thought you were gonna. Yeah. I got confused when you said Civi.
Oh, sorry.
We have a lot of civies, and most of them are non-zombies.
Yeah. He's
As far as we're aware.
move 40 feet right next to you right here.
Ruh-roh.
And then it's top of the round. Whoops. There we go. Ooh.
Now, if I've done my math correctly, he still can't reach me without dashing.
Yeah. Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man, you're
Being
lucky,
a
man.
rabbit has its perks.
Yeah. And that's going in his turn as well. But you're...
In the mouth of the cave, and I have them on both sides of me. Yes.
Yep.
All right. So, do I see any more in the area? Any more zombies?
You have to make a perception check.
Would that take my turn?
Most likely, since you're like, it's 6 seconds. Like if you're just trying to do like a cursory glance.
I just want to have like a quick glance as I'm moving to stab the one that I've been stabbing. Lucky Knife is going back into hopefully the neck area. Again, his whole idea is try to sever the nerve, but
Just doing
of course not super successful so far. But
from what you saw out there, like you didn't see anything. Like if you without doing a perception check, like to your knowledge, you haven't seen anything in front of you, but who knows?
okay, then yeah, Oliver is gonna stab, and then he will figure out what he's doing after the stab.
All right.
Does a 21 hit?
A 21 does indeed hit. And which one are you attacking?
The one that I've been hitting, the one that's already taken 15 points of damage.
Gotcha.
For an additional 6 points of damage. Not quite as good as normal, but you know what? I'll take it.
All right. If you give me 1 second, then.
Death save? Question mark.
All right. What's that do?
Well, Zambi death. I think it's a Constitution save. DC is like
5 plus the damage.
10. Oh, 5 plus the damage taken. Oh, DC 11. God damn it.
Oh crap. Constitution save.
It's fine.
You as you stab it into the neck, you hit that noticeable like crunch of cartilage as you separate the spinal column from its body. As you see him just drop.
Ooh, it is dead.
Yep.
Hell yeah, brother. Okay.
I think you're the first official one to actually take one out 1-on-1.
I mean, go figure. The trained soldier is the one to 1v1 a Zambi.
Yeah.
And also, don't you give me that 1v1 shit. This is a 2v1. Thank you very much.
There we go. All right.
Soldiers are like fishermen. They have to embellish their stories, okay?
I faced like
All right.
5 of them at once. I took one down with a single stroke.
That is exactly what I'm going to tell the party when I get back. All right, now, so he's right next to me. I still have my full 30 feet of movement plus my Leopard hop, hoping that actually works this round, because otherwise things are going to get awkward.
Yeah.
So then, disengage is a bonus action, and I'm going to pull a little sneaky on him and just head directly the way that they just came from.
All right.
Which now puts them, and then I'm going to hop, so rolling a d12. 1, my hop does not kick in. Very sad.
You've been on the seas for a while. You haven't had to really hop. Hop usually means death on a boat, like such as
And the sewers weren't exactly hopping range either.
Yeah.
So
Your legs are a little
atrophied a little bit. Or not atrophied, atrophied's the wrong word, but I'm not at my prime.
yeah, didn't get the chance to stretch. But
Still very confused as to why they made that a roll. But, you know, that's a discussion for later.
But you see the footsteps come by as you start to see our companions start to come by. Whoops, I needed to pull her token out.
I'm assuming that's for Lilith.
Yep, and she rolled very well.
She did.
Yep, she got 17 on her initiative roll. Alright, and then I'm going to make one for Hastera.
So the 19's for Marcus.
Oh,
Does Marcus still not have a token?
oh, Marcus has a token. He's right here.
Oh, right, yeah.
I chose
The
wrong
incredibly
token.
buff barkeeper for some reason.
Yeah, this guy's a hunk. I will say that. Alright, and it looks like... God damn
Yes,
it.
I know I'm eating apple slices. I know you two want some. Just give me like another couple hours to do this, okay, babies? Yeah, I'm over here eating dried apple, and they're just sitting there at the bars of their cages looking at me, like, "Hey, what you doing? Why aren't we getting any?"
Like, we know, you know what we want.
We know what you're doing.
Alright, this is there. I gotta make sure I actually...
We're gonna make you unlawful. You can't refuse.
Initiative. He rolled an 18. Dang, they both rolled really well.
Yeah, they all did. This is a very high rolling session so far.
Yeah, no, my
With
lord.
the exception of my initiative and that zombie's initiative, we've been above 10, I think, every roll.
Alright, let me get Marcus. I have too many sheets on my screen right at the moment. Alright. Hello there, Marcus. God damn.
Did Marcus just crush it?
Yeah, he got a 2. I mean, he got a 20.
Ooh, there you go.
Alright, and you see him, like... So, the first one... Oh, God, I feel bad for this one now. I feel bad for this guy, the zombie. So... you see Marcus, as he's coming by, you see the recognizable glistening of a warhammer as he raises up and slams it down upon his foe in front of him.
Oof. What's the
Alright.
damage?
Let's see if he actually hits. I hope he does. I'd be very surprised.
Watch him roll another 20.
Oh,
If only he had advantage.
actually missed.
If he had had advantage, that would have been a 20.
That. I'm just curious to see what the damage would have been. Oh. Alright.
Not a one-shot, but some substantial damage.
He's gonna make another attack though. 18 does indeed hit.
Hey.
And you don't see the +2, but he has rage damage as he does 10 damage to this zombie in front of you. And you see him just slam it on his shoulder, just completely dislocating as you hear bones and cartilage just erupt in a symphony. Alright, and with that, it's going to be Hastera's turn. And god damn, this... Quite honestly, I don't know why I'm, like, even, like, put them on initiative. They're just going to kill this thing.
That was the plan.
Oh my gosh, this thing is, like... Alright, he's going to make... Fuck, he critted. Yeah.
Don't even bother rolling the damage. I'm pretty sure this thing is dying.
Yeah, and like, in just like almost like in an anime mode where you see his eyes kind of just glow red and like quickly move forwards. He kind of hits it with his shield to turn around as you didn't see him just slam this massive sword down and just like bisecting him, essentially.
This dude is literally just Robon.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just realized, yeah, I made Robon.
Mm-hmm. Before you started playing Final Fantasy, we'll throw that out there first.
Dude.
You had not played Final Fantasy at all prior to making this character, and he's literally just made Robon.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of elements in this campaign I've like unintentionally made from like, it looks like I took inspiration from Final Fantasy, but it was done before Final Fantasy.
Uh-huh.
Alright, cool. Holy shit.
To be fair, Final Fantasy is a very generic fantasy sort of thing, so it kind of plays on most of the major fantasy tropes. It's kind of hard to make something that doesn't take some elements.
I guess Artman was Nanamo. Rip. Alright, so combat is over.
Alright, I'm going to, I'm assuming I already pulled my knife out, considering I left.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of, like, wipe the blood off my knives on my leather bracer and sheath them and just... You know, I may have had that under control, but I very much appreciate your help, gentlemen. And lady.
Hastera kind of just like swings his blade and you see the blood kind of just like swing.
Flick off.
Yeah. No problem, but do do be sure to like maybe tell us more directly. Tell us next time.
I hardly. It was only a handful of them. I hardly figured it was worth worrying the civilians.
Kind of look on the ground, sees just the two. Ah, a handful, yes. But at least we know. At least you're safe. That's all that matters. But I do.
I appreciate your concern.
I think we should start to get going. As you're looking around now, you start to see there are undead starting to like kind of come out of the city gate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can't stay here very long, and I think that fact is abundantly clear to everyone in the room.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, is everyone patched up to the best that we're going to get it?
Cliff chimes in. Yeah, everyone's passed up, from what I can see. Unless
Excellent.
someone has anything that they're not showing us, but we already dealt with that problem earlier.
Well, I'd say that the mother probably. And then he kind of catches himself and goes, "Yeah, no, maybe don't make that joke." Maybe not a good time to mention that, but anyways, let us away then.
All right, let's go. As we all start to head off.
I'm assuming someone went back to get the civilians.
Oh yeah, of course. Like they probably
Yeah.
like usher them like out with like would have brought them out as soon as the bell was over.
And Oliver's actually going to be taking point here.
Okay. The Sarah's going to be kind of next to you, and he actually does know the path to Forlorn.
Oh, good. Then yeah.
Okay. So
How does it end up being the orc and the rabbit every time? I had to write Oliver the way that I did, and now, oh boy.
it's like what's that cop movie? Where it's like the one guy who's like prejudiced with the one guy who's like, yo, dude, that's not cool. No, iRobot. That's actually a better reference. iRobot. Will Smith working for Robot. He fucking hates robots.
I have not watched that movie actually.
Oh, so good. It's actually a really good movie.
I watched The Mandalorian, but he doesn't really have to confront his fear of droids very much. So,
Yeah, unless he hates Force users, but
to some extent, yeah. But every Mandalorian does.
yeah,
Also, that's a baby. It's much easier to love.
yeah.
How you gonna say mad at
I
Grogu?
don't know. Those stormtroopers don't like him too much. I wish.
Alright. Anyways,
Back to
so
the session.
Rabbit and Orc probably taking point, scouting the area, basically trying to clear a path.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing the Lilith and Marcus are kind of shepherding the civilians along. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, Marcus and Lilith are like nearby, Lilith taking the back as you see, and Marcus being in the front of the civilians. As you and Hester are kind of like you said, taking point. You're trying to make sure there's no on the road that you see, which
We're definitely still like within eye and earshot of the party at all times. Like if there's a bend, we'll probably make it just around the bend and wait for the party to get around safely.
Mhm.
But otherwise, probably a little bit out in front.
all right.
So that if a battle happens, hopefully we can get it over with before the civilians get involved.
Yeah, and this is certainly a situation where, because as you can see on the map right
Sure.
here, there are like some peasantry housing outside of the city that you do see that like, oh, this thing has been out of the city for a while now. As you see, like
Okay.
the destruction in Viscera.
So we are definitely seeing the wave has expanded.
Yeah,
That initial wall of flesh that we saw, that has gone everywhere. This has been through this area already.
yeah, and
We're not escaping the corruption.
you're not. Yeah, it kind of confirmed like your fears of like, oh, this shit has been outside the city.
All right.
And slowly it does turn to night. As you don't see really too much activity. You do see some like a couple infected here and there, though choosing to maybe conserve energy and maybe not risk one of the only fighters in the group dying. I would think you all would choose to maybe just take a scenic route, like a color, go around them.
Yeah, trying to avoid fighting as much as possible. And as the sun begins to set, I'm going to like move close to. I almost called him Raubon. I almost did, but his name is Astaire. Yeah, I'm gonna move up to Astaire and go. Say then, how far is it to this Fort Forlorn? Was it?
Yeah, Forlorn. It'd probably be a couple days just on foot, and based on how we're having to kind of having to avoid any more conflict on the road.
Well, then, if it is to be a couple days, I should think we should probably find somewhere safe. After all, I don't know how you feel, but personally, I would not feel comfortable fighting off one of these things after not getting any sleep.
Of course, yeah. I was actually about to suggest we set up camp somewhere.
Agreed. And then I'll like glance around, see if there's a house that appears less destroyed,
Make it perception.
or like a cave or anything that might provide substantial shelter.
Okay, can you make a perception check for me?
Okay. And that is a 23.
Damn, nice. So you all have been on
As
the
I
road.
said, high rolling session.
Yeah, god damn. So, you've been on the road for a bit. You've definitely gone around the village area. But even then, you do spot in between the trees, like a lone, like what looks like to be like a hunting shed.
Perfect. And it seems less damaged.
It seems like it's been untouched, but
So as if it was abandoned before the wave came through.
yeah, exactly.
Great. I'm going to kind of thump the ground, get Raubon's attention, and then Raubon, I'm. Hester. I'm going to get Hester's attention. Leave that all in. Sure, why not? We're calling him Raubon.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna, Oliver's gonna keep his ears open, as rabbit do, and then move towards the hunting shed.
Alright. He as you kind of like, you both kind of look inside the hunting shed, it's definitely, it's worse for wear, but compared to what you've seen this whole couple days, this is more intact than any of the buildings so far. This would definitely be a sufficient place to sleep. Though it looks like it's been looted already, like there's no doesn't look like there's anything left in terms of like supplies. Though they were kind enough to leave the forager.
Okay. Already doing better than our other game then, but
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'll move in. And you said there's absolutely no supplies in the area, no food, water, arrows, nothing.
No, whatever there was, like it could be rotten.
So it's been abandoned for a good long while.
Yeah, like you do see, like as you open the door, like the air is like kind of like just filled with dust.
Yeah, Oliver's nose will twitch as it comes in contact with the dust, and his ears kind of like curl down to try to shield themselves. And then he'll just kind of move into the shed, fanning the air, try to clear out as much of the dust as he can.
All right.
Then motion for Raubon to follow him in and just. Well, can't say it's the fanciest place I've ever stayed, but this should provide a roof over our heads tonight.
Astaire goes. Sorry, Astaire goes. Yeah, this looks like to be. This looks to be good. I'll make sure. I'll get the group right quick.
I appreciate that. And yeah, no, just full sweep, full check for hidden traps, any sort of like tripwires, pressure plates, hidden entrances, all of that.
All right. Make me a note.
Oliver wants to know exactly what he's dealing with. And actually, because it's an abandoned shed, he's specifically going to be looking for thieves' cant.
All right. Can you make
Because this seems like a perfect area for the thieves to be hiding out.
Can you make an investigation check for me then?
All right, I'm terrible at these with a -1, but we'll see how it goes. That's an 18 anyways, because high rolling session.
Jesus Christ. This has literally been like almost every roll's been like above 10.
And viewers, like, he can see this. We're doing this online. I'm not fudging a thing here. Like, I can't. There's no way for me to do that, even if I wanted to. This is just where the dice are landing right now.
God damn, you're rolling better than the other group, quite honestly.
Hey, there you go. I got rid of all the dead weight. I got saddled with the civvy dead weight, but I got rid of the PC dead weight.
So, as you're investigating, you notice two things. One, you notice there was like a squeaky floor, like one piece of like board on the floor that seemed to be looser than the others, like way looser. As you kind of like take it apart, you do see that there's some liquor hidden under there.
Ah, very valuable find.
Yeah. You see about like 3 bottles of like, it's unidentified, it looks like to be homemade. Could be mead, could be...
Did I find bootleggers? Yeah! Good old Kentucky moonshine in there.
Probably got themselves blown up, quite honestly, then.
Yeah, there's a suspicious scorch mark in the bathtub. Who knows what happened there?
You kind of look out in the distance, you see there's like a scorch marks, and you see like 2 skeletons. Like, I see.
Yeah, no, he'll take those out of their hiding place and just kind of put them up on... You said they left the furniture, so he'll dust off a table.
Alright.
Put them up there.
Then
and you said that there was another thing?
Yeah, the second day you notice that there's actually a scratch mark on the wall. Like, as you were kind of investigating outside of it. So, outside of it, you do see it's a familiar symbol, actually.
Ah.
That to be the symbol of the Drift Hearts.
My boy? Wait, my boy don't know thieves' cant, but he does know the family symbol, so it's fine.
Yeah. And how would you, like, because I don't know if I asked you this, but how would you describe the symbol just for visual representation?
Ah, shit, I ain't thought of that. Hold on. Alright, so what do we know about them? Rabbits living under Elven rule. They're probably...
They're warriors.
Yeah. So let's go with... Yeah, I mean... Okay, there we go. So the symbol of the Drift Hearts is going to be a compass, where the needle that would normally point north is in fact a knife, and then it has 2 rabbit ears coming out the top.
Okay, gotcha. And under that symbol, you see 4 marks, kind of like 4 lines.
Do I know what that means? Is that how many days you stay here, or
you can make it?
Like, can I?
You can make an intelligence check to see if you can like interpret what it means.
Uneducated rabbit. I'm scared about these.
Sorry.
14. I'll still take it.
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You can't really tell for sure. It could be it could mean other things, like maybe how many days it took them to get here, stay here. It could be how many people are with them. It could be. It can even mean something else, but you don't really know for sure, but you have kind of like a baseline there.
Okay. But either way, it seems to be a measurement of time of some sort. Is that fair to say? Or I don't know, you said it could be how many people came through, so...
It could be many things.
For all I know, the owners could have been distant relatives of the family.
Maybe.
For all we know.
Yeah.
I think I actually had a couple relatives that just kind of like went off to do their own thing for a while. Was it Sadie? I want to say it was Sadie. But yeah, no,
All right.
I will make a note of that, and underneath it, I'll. Would I have my own personal symbol? Actually, you know what I'll do? I will take a knife and quickly scratch the highest rank that I had in the Elven military.
Okay.
My rank symbol.
Yeah. All right.
I don't really. How high up did I get? Did I? I think I was just like an infantry.
I think you're
So like
infantry, I would say, like, or even a scout if I.
private. I might have made it up to like a lieutenant or something, but nothing big.
Right.
I wasn't a big shot like my older brother was.
Ye-
And yeah, I'll scratch that in there, because that should be a pretty good marker that, hey, this is Oliver.
Yeah. You can even like do the symbol. Never mind. I'm not gonna be.
No, I'd love to hear the idea, because it's probably better than mine.
Oh no. Yeah. Just any identifying symbols, like anything that any of the players wouldn't recognize. Then.
Oh right, I haven't actually left anything for the group. You raise a very, very good argument there. So, what would they know about me? Oh, do I know the symbol of the sea bitch?
Yes, you do, because you're on the crew.
Great. I will head over to the front door, and I will draw my family crest, the compass with the blade and the ears, and underneath it I will draw the symbol of the sea bitch, as a message to my companions. I know they already had their session, so you can't really work that in. Although I don't know how far they got in their session. I left early.
They still are not out of the sewers.
Oh, so we're ahead of them.
Yeah, it makes sense too. Like, from your perspective, you literally just saw them like probably like a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
And you were like literally like 20 feet from like the entrance, like from the exit. So it makes
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
that you're
We made it out of there. They didn't.
yeah.
It makes perfect sense that they would be off on their own. So they have not made it out of the city. So how far do you want to go with the solo session? Where are you planning to have us meet up? Are you planning to get me to Forlorn immediately?
I actually not. It's not Fort Forlorn, but I do have a destination for you to go to.
Okay, then that's fair.
And
But yeah, no.
how long has it been? Very quick. We can take a break. Right quick.
We had a bit of a break. It's been an hour 15 on my end.
Okay. I see, we can go for 15 more minutes then, before we take a break right quick.
Yeah, and I do have work in the morning, so I'll probably have to call it around like 11 or so.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make this quick then. So
Yeah.
as you're finishing up as you're kind of like making the symbol into the door, you do like everyone else kind of comes up. I see you're making a place marker there. You hear Esther kind of chime in.
Yes, of course. I figured with the rest of our group sadly separated, it would make sense to leave a little marker to let them know that this is a safe place to stay. Assuming, of course, that this does end up being a safe place to stay.
Yeah.
If the zombies break down the door, they won't see it anyways.
Fair enough. Fair assumption. He kind of looks at the symbol, goes, "Ah, didn't know you were a drift heart."
Indeed, Oliver Drifthot at your service, actually.
Ah,
Second, can't say I'm anyone special in the family, just kind of in the middle. You know us rabbits, of course, but my brother, Theo, was something of a legend.
yeah. I fought side by side. I've seen him in action. It's always good to work with another drift heart.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, did you say you fought side by side with him?
Yeah. Did you not know?
When would this have been?
Well, every so often in his career, I would assume. Oh, I see where the pressures come from. Not all orcs wage war on everyone here.
Of course, of course. I'm just. It was quite rare for us to find ourselves on the same side. I'm a little bit surprised you knew him, to be quite honest. But if you knew my brother, then that's all I really need to hear. At this point, you've held a blade by my side, and you haven't stabbed me with it. I think we're past the point where I would consider you a threat.
Uh, I'm truly happy to hear that. See, I'm actually wanted to tell you that I appreciate that you were able to set aside your prejudices when the moment came. See, and
Well, you know us soldiers. The battlefield must always take priority.
you would think so, but and you can actually ask your brother next time you see him. There's been too many times where people have tried to take the opportunity in the confusion of combat to take my head.
Unfortunately, my brother is no longer with us. Actually, he was lost in a battle, actually against the orcs. But
That's
I will be sure to let my other siblings know, and next time I'll be sure to ask my other siblings next time I bump into them.
I do apologize. I sadly did not know of his untimely passing.
Yes, well, what's done is done. It's been years at this point. Old wounds, old wounds.
Well, it's certainly good working with him, and I'm happy to be working with someone in the same lineage. But
And I'm proud to be working alongside you as well. And he'll kind of reach out his hand to shake.
yeah, gives a good hearty shake. His hand kind of like collapses over yours as he gives
Yeah,
a
he's an orc. He's a big old boy, ain't he?
yeah.
He's a large lad.
And
So, at this point, are the civvies like in the hut?
yeah, I would say like people have like ushered in into the building.
Great.
Like they're kind of just getting like set up. Like you can, it's starting to get evening. Like the red glow of the sun, like the red glow of the like evening sky starts to come in, and slowly, or quite honestly, quite quickly, night falls upon you all.
Yeah, go figure. Night would be quick in the land of the dead. All right. Yeah. Then yeah. After the handshake, Oliver's gonna. I'm assuming the symbol's finished carving at this point. So he's gonna
Yeah.
slip inside and go check and see how everyone's doing. And specifically look into the food situation because with the party separated, I don't know how resources were allotted. I don't know what everyone has.
So
Like, if
the-
Oliver needs to go hunting real quick, he needs to know that. Actually, as a matter of fact, does he remember seeing any animals, or does he suspect that they've been devoured?
I would say because now make a perception check. I'll count this as in the past.
Like a retroactive perception. Okay, yeah. Like, does he remember hearing even a bird call or seeing deer track, like recent deer tracks, anything that might be that is an artificial 20.
Nice. That's goddamn Jesus Christ. Again, above 10. So
Yeah.
you do remember like seeing like animals here and there. You remember seeing like I don't want to say rabbits, but like yeah, you see like some bears.
No, yeah. Rabbit folk are different than rabbits. Rabbits can still exist in the world. It's fine. It's not cannibalism. Rabbit folk are fey.
You see some rabbit and deer, and you as you're passing by, giving cursory glances, and as you're sneaking, you do see like vegetation still there. Though you also you do remember seeing some like animal corpses of like they're kind of rotting.
But for the most part, it appears that the plague has specifically targeted sentient creatures.
Well, you seen some you see some animals with like it looks like they were like quickly devoured by something.
Ooh, so maybe it hasn't completely left the animals alone. That's interesting, and definitely something that Oliver would need to investigate at some point, but that's actually something probably better left for the party mages and people much smarter than he is.
You're taking note, but it's like I am not qualified to really identify what this means.
Yep. Maybe they just got the hell out of the way. Maybe they were just smart enough for that. Who knows? So yeah, what then? Yeah, Oliver's gonna go inside. Is there like one civilian that's kind of taking charge of the others, or is Marcus filling that role, or who's the party leader for the non-combatants?
You kind of see Liv taking charge in this matter. She's the one who's kind of like re-checking on the guy with the shield's wounds. You see her kind of do some magic as you see the wound kind of heal up, and she is taking note of like supplies.
Great. Then I'll kind of shoot. What's the word for like casually walk over? Just kind of. I don't want to say mosey. Oh. I don't really want to say mosey because it is very southern and British, and I'm saving the southern for Theo the Third if he ever pops up. But yeah, he'll kind of just casually walk over and just. I see you're addressing the man's wounds. I appreciate that. I'm no trained medic myself. I'm sure this is much more in your realm of expertise. But would you have happened to look into the food situation? If night is coming, and if we need to hunt something, it needs to be done rather soon.
She kind of like, you see her hands kind of glow, and like, yeah, it's comes rather easy when you have magic. Wounds don't really have a knowledge in the medical field, and about the food situation. So they don't have much. The scrawny one over there with the ripped cloak, he has like a couple like it seems like to be some assorted nuts and like some berries, but nothing too filling. And this man right here, he doesn't really have anything. He doesn't really have too much he can carry on him. He had maybe some traveling supplies, like probably a day's worth of like jerky on him. But other than that, there's not too much here. We could probably still make it to the fort, but we would probably go a day hungry. Do you have anything on you?
And a day hungry. A day hungry is a day closer to the grave, especially when everything out there is just as hungry as we are. As a matter of fact, I do actually have a few days of rations. It pays to be prepared in the adventuring business. I have about 10 on me. How many people are in the group?
So there's Marcus, 2 civilians, Lilith, Hester, and 6 people.
Oh, so it's just the 2 civilians. It's just the dude and the shield guy. The cloak and the shield guy.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we had more than that.
Oh, sadly no.
Oh, so we only had 4 civilians overall. The mother, the child, the shield guy, and the cloak.
Yep, not a lot.
We got saddled with a lot less than I thought we did.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, and Lilith doesn't have anything on her?
She kind of goes, well, in my line of business, food items don't really last too long, nor drinks.
Oh, I'm well aware of the ins and outs of the barter trade. I completely understand. Then I suppose I could furnish us with something from my private reserve, at least for today. Tomorrow, we may need to have a small party out adventuring, a small party out hunting as we move along. Dangerous though that might be.
Well, as long as we don't cause too much noise, it seems like we should be fine. But understandable, nonetheless.
And you said that he had some nuts and berries?
Yeah, the kid over there.
Blast! What I wouldn't give for a ranger. I'm assuming Oliver would be familiar with rangers and the good berry spell from
yeah.
I'm assuming that's used in soldiers like all the time.
Well, plus
that is 10 days worth of food
plus
from a spell.
Wood
Elvish,
territory,
yeah.
So like, That was
Like, I'm assuming Oliver has lived on good berries for most of his soldier career, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like. Yeah, you're kind of thinking at this moment. You're like, oh, God, I wish I was home.
Yeah, home or in the army, either way, either one's better than the apocalypse. All right. Well then he'll kind of go through his rations, start setting it up on the table, divide up portions as best he can.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a way to do half rations or like anything of that nature.
No, but like I'll just kind of like count it as a full like as a meal. Like I don't want to like go too hardcore on you all until you at least make it to Fort Forlorn. At least make it through the prequel.
And you said that Fort Forlorn was a couple days travel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, he's not rationing super hard because he does have almost enough for 2 full days for the party. And Fort Forlorn being a couple days means we could probably make it there.
Yeah, and plus, like, the one guy had like a couple days worth of jerky.
Yeah, so just kind of how many, rough estimate, how many days overall do we have?
4.5 days. And
in the rest of the party.
Yeah. Oh, give me 1 second.
And Raubon wouldn't have happened to be. Or, sorry. Hester. His name is Hester. It is not Raubon, and I need to get that right for once, please, because I haven't even played Final Fantasy in like a month, and it makes no sense that my mind is going there. I'm sorry, viewers. I don't know why I can't keep this orc's name intact. I know it's in character, but even so, Alex did name them, and he does deserve to have the names remembered. So that's on me. Please do not attempt to say that, I'm not caring, because I am, but like, I don't know. It's easier when you have people to bounce off of. I'm sure you all understand. I doubt you're watching a D&D podcast without, playing D&D yourself. Yeah, welcome to the rambling portion, by the way, while Alex is gone.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, never mind. He's back. The rambling portion is over. There we go.
One bad thing about beer, it goes through you fast.
Yeah, I understand.
Matter of fact, I need to get another can. So, rambling.
Well, if we have 14 days overall, then he'll just set out
4 days overall.
4 days in the rest of the party. Oliver has 10.
Oh, 10 days?
Oliver has 10 days of rations on him.
Holy shit. Yeah, you all are fine on supplies.
Yeah. Because we started with an explorer's pack, and I haven't actually used anything because we've been on the boat, then in the carriage, then in the city.
Yeah,
I've been specifically keeping track of my rations and making sure that we weren't using them because it pays to be prepared for these sort of things.
Oh yeah.
Which, side note, the more I play Oliver and the more he turns into like this skirmisher, and he very well might be going for the scout archetype rather than swashbuckler. Like in combat, he's very much a swashbuckler, but out of combat, scout is both useful and it seems in line with the whole former soldier thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's okay.
But that's a discussion for level 3.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is still a good long ways away.
Hopefully, it depends on how much. It depends on how much hell y'all go through, I guess.
But yeah, no. Considering that Oliver has his 10 days, he'll let the other guys keep hold of their food. He'll just set out 6 days worth of his rations, kind of gather everyone around and just be like, hey, so it would appear that as we're going to be traveling as a group for some time, the food is going to be rather limited. With that in mind, I will be furnishing you from my private stash for today. The liquor over there we need to keep it for medical purposes. I know we have a mage in the group, but from experience, the arcane energies of the world are not exactly the most reliable. They tend to run out. So, with that in mind, liquors for medicine use, ration your food, please don't be snacking, no matter how much you may wish to do so, and if you happen to see anything like a deer, rabbit, bird, while we're on the trail, please let one of the four of us know that we might gather it for food the next day.
The
That clear to everyone?
the young man with the cape. The kid goes, are you sure you want to be must call out rabbit? You know, like since you're a rabbit and
Well, I certainly understand where you're coming from. That is a slight bit racist, but moving past it. The rabbit folk are not actually descended from the rabbits. It's a rather convoluted story involving the Feywild, if you're familiar. But nonetheless, don't worry. Us and our Leoprin friends out in the wilderness are two completely different species. It is not cannibalism. Now, please don't call out a rabbit folk, though, if you happen to see one. Actually, I take that back. Call out the rabbit folk. I would rather love to meet him. He's my nephew.
ah, I see.
So, rabbits are food, rabbit folk are friends. Clear?
Got it.
God, I love this conversation. All right. Then, with that in mind, dig in and make sure everyone gets a good night of sleep. Have we discussed watches yet?
Hester goes, I don't think we have actually. I can take first
Oh,
watch.
okay.
I wouldn't mind that.
If you could, I would appreciate it. I'm an early riser. I'll take the last watch.
All right.
And it'll kind of look, not like aggressively, but a little bit pointedly at Lilith and Marcus,
Yeah.
the other two combatants.
Yeah. Liz immediately goes, yeah, I'll take second watch.
And then I suppose that leaves Marcus with third, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whatever.
Alternately, if either of the two of you would be willing, you could swap in for Marcus if he does need his rest. It's been a rough day for all of us, and I'd hate for anyone to be overly exhausted on the trail.
Sure, yeah. Can I see the third man with the shield give a thumbs up? He
How does Marcus react to this?
he got
Is Marcus like grateful to be relieved for the night? Does he need the night of rest, or is he actually okay and he's just being gruff and tough because of gruff and tough bartender?
He seems perfectly fine. He seems a little bit perturbed, and that could be for many reasons. Like,
Long story short, we are in this together. I know we've made this point many a times as we've been traveling, but we don't quite know what's going on out there. It is very possibly the end of the world, and the only way we're going to get through this is if everyone gives their best effort at all times.
of course.
But that also means we need to take care of each other.
Of course.
Call out your wounds, and despite what you saw with the noble, we will be understanding. Please make sure that you report your bites. And if you need anything, if you are feeling tired, sick, hungry, whatever it may be, please let us know.
Can I just get like a group like confirmation? Like, yeah, got it.
Very well then. Then, Oliver's gonna scarf down his food as rabbit do.
Yeah. And what language do you speak, by the way? I just want to know.
Languages, I speak Common, Elvish, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay, never mind then.
I don't think I got an additional language out of my background. I think I just got the land vehicles instead.
That's still really good.
It is very good if we find a horse. If.
That's a big if.
If.
But
Or a wagon or something.
any transportation.
Yeah, it's real nice because Colin has the sea vehicles, I got the land vehicles. We're good. All right, then yeah, Oliver's gonna scarf down his food, polish his lucky knife just a little bit, just kind of. I don't know if he has oil. He has some torches. He could probably like take a little bit of the oil off of there, use it to polish his new lucky knife, slide it into the top part of his bandolier, and then head to bed.
All right. And I'll just on your watch. I'll just have you like just roll like just a random d20.
Just a straight D20.
Yeah.
That is a 6.
All right.
The low rolls have left me.
There we go. Finally. But so yeah. So during your watch, as you're kind of see the two like Marcus kind of go back to sleep, the other two didn't switch off the phone. You see them kind of just passed out. But during your watch, you do hear like a distant scream. It seems like a blood-curdling scream, a desperate scream. Definitely of a person. So it's very muffled, kind of signifying the distance of it. And
Can I try to identify if I know this person? Does it sound familiar in any way?
sure, you can make a
Perception check based on hearing?
yeah.
I don't want to put words in your mouth if that's not the
Trying to
check
think,
you were going for, but either way.
maybe an intelligence check, like just trying to like, because you can hear it, but it's all about trying to see if you can like
Identify it.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, intelligence, because it's the same as all my intelligence-based skills, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have proficiency in any. I forgot that I got proficiency in intelligence saves. God, I built this character weirdly. Anyways, that is a 6.
It just sounds like a stranger to you, and you hear kind of what the cries of help before it is quickly extinguished. Like it was like almost like mid sentence, like somebody, it was gone.
So viewers, that for all we know, because I wasn't actually involved with the other group session any more than. So this is coming out before the other group session. They've already recorded theirs. I was kind of there just for memes. I was not part of the actual thing, so I don't really know what happened very well. So for all we know, that could have been the other group.
That'd be interesting.
It would be. It'd be a nice tie-in if they make it to there.
I'm sure they will next session, which is like in 2 days. Ugh.
Oh, now you have to write something in the middle of the night to cause one of them to scream.
Maybe.
That'd be some excellent connective tissue. There you go. That you can have that one for free, no charges.
It'd be hard, 'cause it's definitely based on their decisions, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
That'd be a neat tie-in though. All right. I need to use the restroom, so do we want to take that 15-minute break real quick?
Sure, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Nice crisp line. I love that.
Nice. And I just tried to drink my beer and I forgot to open it.
Hey. Might be a little bit on the tipsy side there, Chief.
Yeah, I think that is a great sign of like oh, God. Alright. So we'll start out with the morning actually. So
All right. Oliver, having had the last shift, I'm assuming I'd just kind of stay awake.
yeah, you're just awake. You see everyone kind of like get up, and Hester kind of goes, "Was there anything happened last night?"
Well, from the sound of it, there may have been one more civilian somewhere. Does he happen to know what direction the sound came from? Did it come from like back towards the city? I'm guessing.
I would say that one would be a perception check.
I mean, I made the perception check of 6. If we want to just go with that, or no, that was an intelligence check. That was not a perception check. That was identifying. That's a different thing. Thank God, because that's a nat 20.
Fuck. Yeah, it was definitely towards the city. Like maybe in one of the villages you passed.
Ain't nobody fooling the rabbit when it comes to sound. Yeah. Well, it sounds like there may have been another civilian in one of the villages we passed, unfortunately. But I highly doubt it'd be worth looking into at this point.
That's how that we can.
Probably best simply to keep moving and hope that our companions are able to meet up with us at the fort.
All right, I'll have to agree with you there. All right.
So then, rest of the party, no new wounds, no new hunger, sicknesses, anything of that nature, I'm guessing?
Cliff kind of stretching. Nope.
Well then, it would seem that we're off. Remember what I said yesterday? Call out any game, any rabbits, any birds, and if you happen to see a rabbit folk, let me know. I would very much like to get in touch.
Got it. Got it.
And with that, he's going to start heading down the road.
All right. So, I'll say, so about a half a day's travel, you do reach about this area right here. There's like a, not a fork in the road, but there's a signpost that is pointing in two directions.
So this be about midday.
Yep.
All right. What language is the signpost in? Is it in common?
It is in common.
All right.
And
Quick glance just to check for thieves' cant. I would think that a signpost might be a.
it's like midday as well. It's well lit. I won't have you really roll, quite honestly.
So any thieves' cant on there?
Yeah, you do see a symbol. You see
Ooh.
the same symbol actually from the abandoned cabin. The compass with the daggers and by ears.
Excellent.
Is
Which on one of this, like I'm assuming there's two different signposts pointing different directions.
it's like you know like the signpost where the single direction with two like with different arrows pointing different ways.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that.
like one of those highway road signs.
Yep. And there's two of them. There's one that looks fairly new. It says Forlorn on it. And it's pointing to the what, like kind of like the northwest direction. But then you see
Okay.
one pointing towards the northeast, and that's where you see the symbol. And it says Prima. And you see right next to the Prima symbol the compass with the daggers and bunny ears. You also see the four scratches again.
All right, then. Yeah, no. Upon seeing the symbol, because he knows we're going to Forlorn, and his ears display his concern. I don't really know how a rabbit would just. They might even like fold back on his head, honestly. Just kind of a oh shit, he's going the wrong way sort of thing. And he'll kind of hop back to where Hestia is,
Mhm.
and say, I know that we're heading towards Fort Forlorn, but there may be a slight hiccup. It appears that my nephew may have gone to Prima instead.
Prima. Huh. That's. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
What exactly is at Prima?
Nothing. It's just this is a normal town, but seeing how things are going, I don't know. I hope it's fine. Could be.
Well, it doesn't appear that much around here survived the journey. However, underneath the symbol, there are 4 scratches, which... actually, how many days has it been since the outbreak at this point?
So okay, actually, I had to think about this for a bit. So there's one day and so
There was the day inside the basement, like the day of we got to the basement, we camped out there. The next morning we left, got all the people, got to the sewers, got into the sewers. This actually might only be day 4. Camped out in the sewers, went through the sewers, got to the area, made it from there to the place that we spent the night, because that would actually all have been the same day. Now that I think about it.
I would say like just for realistically, it would be like 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
Most likely 4. Now I'm thinking about it.
Which would bring up some major rationing concerns that we haven't really been addressing with the party. But
Yeah.
at this point, now that we're out of the city, I think it's fair to really start monitoring that.
Then.
While we're in the city, we can kind of hand wave it and say, "Oh yeah, you're in the city. You can find scraps or whatever."
Right, like rats, or
You
like
can-
even the collective party probably has like a shit ton of rations.
Yeah, but I'm assuming they're gonna need to start rationing once they leave the city as well.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to mess with their supply in case that affects their calls.
Yeah. I'll keep track. I'm gonna be able to keep track of that at that point.
So we'll just hand wave the days spent in the city. Now that we're outside, my group has their own set of rations. We're just gonna work with that.
Yep.
Sound like a fair plan to you?
Yep.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned, it's next to the signpost pointing towards Prima. There is a symbol that I would guess to be the work of my nephew, Theo III, named in honor of the man that you started with. If I might just tag that in there.
Yeah.
And 4 scratch marks, which, if I'm not mistaken, could mean that he is traveling with 4 civilians.
Yeah. The only problem.
With that in mind, I do think it behooves us to go at least see what's going on.
The only thing is, I need to make sure I can get to the fort. That was our plan for evacuation if the main city would fall. So whoever is there, I need to be there to make sure everything's organized and we can get things situated.
Of course.
But
How far is it to Prima, anyways?
it's about half a day's travel from here.
Half day's travel, so we'd reach there right around nightfall.
Exactly.
Then I will. How many days? How many days further for the fort? Still a couple.
Yeah, about a couple, maybe 1 or 2.
1 or 2 days.
What we could do, because depending on who will want to travel with you, we should be fine in terms of defense.
Well, my other concern is, of course, the food, and that whoever the fort, I'm assuming, is fairly well defended. Whoever's there probably can sustain themselves for some time, even without you being there.
Well,
At least I would certainly hope so.
It's who's ever there, and seeing how things are going on with the city and outside.
But with Prima, as you said, it's nothing more than a village. Anyone there is nothing more than bodies waiting to join the horde, if I may be so grim. So with that in mind, I do think it's maybe in our best interest to, at the very least, have a poker round. And worst comes to worst, if we get there and unfortunately the party didn't make it, then we can simply camp out another night and then immediately hit the road and head towards the fort. But best case scenario, we rescue 4 or even 5 potentially survivors.
But what's also concerning is he kind of looks at the 2 our civilians as those 2. We'd be risking them as well, and
Agreed.
it'd be more of a liability than assistance.
Agreed.
And
Then
then to keep track of 6 civilians is there's only 3 of us that can really handle ourselves, or there's 4 of us that can handle ourselves, but 6.
well, I will level with you. I myself do not believe I could bring myself to turn my back on my nephew twice. I already left him for dead in the city, and now that it appears that he's out, I am afraid that I must investigate whether you all choose to come with me or not. If you feel that you must be at the fort, I completely understand, and I trust in your judgment, and I thank you for bringing me this far. But
Of course.
regardless, I simply must have a look at Prima.
Well, me personally, I can't go, but you can always ask our compatriots too.
Of course, although I'd hate to take any more of your guard away. And he'll kind of like saunter back. Sauntering! That's the word I was looking for earlier. God damn it.
Well, you got it now.
Yeah, that's a fun word too. It's a word that I shouldn't allow to leave my vocabulary again. And yeah, he'll saunter on over and just pop up behind Lilith first and just say, might you know a bard by the name of Theo III?
Theo, give me a second.
Another rabbit folk like myself.
Quite honestly, venturing on the road and with my current lifestyle is I am not the best with face or images. I've quite honestly forgotten a lot, and so Theo sounds familiar. It does escape. I can't put the image. I can't put the face to the name. Sadly enough.
Well, if the name sounds familiar, then that's more than enough for me. For now, you can attach my face to it. He is my nephew, after all. But I ask because it appears that my dear nephew made it out ahead of us. I have found markings at the cabin that we stayed at before, and I found additional markings on that signpost up ahead. The issue being, though, that it appears he has gone the wrong direction. Well, our party is, of course, heading to Fort Forlorn, whereas my dear nephew has taken a detour to a small village by the name of Prima.
Oh my god, my cat just spilled my drink.
Excellent.
Maxie, get off. Why? God damn, I'll be right back. No.
Oh god, and it's already 10:30.
Good thing my PC is actually lifted off the damn table. Alright, there we go. Okay. Whew. Crises have been averted.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm gonna have to clean this. I'm gonna have to really make sure clean the stinkiness later. God dang it. Cool. Alright, all things is good. Alright, crisis averted. But as you're kind of talking to Lilith about this, seems like she's about to chime in. You do hear Marcus kind of go, "Oh, Theo. Theo's the third, you said?"
Yes, actually. Are you familiar?
Yes, actually. He performed at my my tavern the night before we got there.
Oh, of course. I should have known to ask the barkeeper first, if I, quite honestly. But the reason I bring it up is that my dear nephew appears to have taken a slight detour off our path. First of all, it would appear that he made it out of the city. He, as far as I can tell, is fine. He has not listed any current danger. And in fact, the four scratch marks would seem to imply to me that he has actually managed to rescue a small group of his own. Crisis being, of course, that he has gone to Prima instead of Fort Forlorn.
Ah, that is quite a predicament, I see. Well,
No. I myself must investigate, and I was wondering if one of the two of you might consider joining me. After all, I feel that the orc and one of the two of you might still be able to guard these two civilians to at least some measure of success.
well, what's that? What's that? I'll be happy to volunteer my services.
And that's Marcus?
Yep.
Most excellent indeed, then. Then it would appear that at that next signpost, our paths will be our paths will be separating for just a few days, hopefully. The Prima's no more than a half day's journey. But of course, our dear orc friend, he is of course the general. His duties must come first, and if he needs to be there for his guards, that's completely understandable.
Oh yeah, especially with situation with Artman, not being here at all.
Of course.
Probably best for him to be there then.
Yeah, I would hate to pull him away from his duties for any longer than I absolutely must. Well then, if our paths are to separate, and he's going to reach into his bag and pull out the remaining 4 days of rations, and he's going to hand them to Lilith.
Oh,
It would seem that the two of us are heading to town, and with any luck, we should find some supplies there. But I would hate to see the four of you starve while on the trail. You probably have a few more days' journey ahead of you before you find any more civilization.
Are you sure? Like, what if things are south there?
If out there, it will be no different than every day prior.
All right. Well, let's hope we see each other again then. She kind of holds out her hand.
Indeed, we will. And with any luck, you will be seeing not only myself, but a handful of new recruits. And who knows? Perhaps the rest of our compatriots might find their way there as well.
Oh,
And he'll kind of reach out and shake a little of the sand.
let's hope so then. Anyone we can save is always good.
Indeed.
And you see how Star kind of come up. Well, I want to wish you luck on your journey. And, here, take this. He kind of hands you a map of the area.
Ooh, that's very handy indeed.
Which is what we're on right now, so.
Yeah. But now, canonically, my character has it, which is useful in its own right.
Yeah.
Are you sure you won't need this to travel around? I not to question your knowledge of your own realm, of course, but simply want to make sure that your group will not become lost on the way.
I have a steel trap. Kind of points at his head. I know this area like the back of my hand.
Then I will accept with gratitude. It's been a pleasure fighting alongside you, and I hope to do so again.
I'll say the same here. Remember.
And he'll reach out for another handshake. I know they just shook last night, but like.
Yeah, gives a hearty handshake and like
Yeah.
kind of like pat you on the shoulder. No.
And with the goodbye said to those two, he'll quickly stop by with the civilians, check on the guy's leg again. I know it got healed with magic, but you know.
Yeah, it's Oliver. He's like, just want to make sure it's all good.
Yeah. Just double check that everyone's ready. Remind them to be careful with their rations and don't kill any rabbit folk.
Yeah.
Remind them of the difference between food and friends. And yeah, then he'll kind of motion for Marcus to follow and head towards Prima.
All right. Yeah. With a quick but also a nice goodbye, you head to different ways with Marcus Hestir yelling, "Make sure to head to Forlorn afterwards."
Of course, I won't forget it. After all, if we do forget it, then we'll most likely be dead.
See, a bit of dark humor.
In my line of work, it tends to be the safest route.
Gives a head nod, and as you all head to separate journeys.
Yeah?
And,
All right, we got like 25 minutes to get as far into Forlorn as we need, as far into Prima as we need to in order to wrap things up. Because I'm assuming Prima is the location that you had us.
Yep. And I will say, like, there's nothing that really on the journey, like, it takes you half a day. Like, now, are you heading into Prima? Oh, I will say this. So, on your journey there, maybe halfway to Prima, you start seeing a slight, like, gray trail kind of rising up into the sky. It seems like it's still miles ahead, still you still have a long way to go, but you can see, like, a smoke trail appear.
Oh, that's the tip of the knife poking out of the scabbard. That's not great. All right. So smoke trail from Prima.
Yep, it's the same direction.
All right. I'm going to try to analyze the smoke. Is this like firewood that's burning, or is this like houses?
It's a dark gray.
That does not answer the question.
Oh,
It's not black, so it's not like billowing house fire smoke, I'm guessing.
Oh,
But it seems like more like campfire.
Well, when I say dark gray, I mean like it seems like kind of like a village that is pillaged type thing.
So this is houses burning.
Yeah.
And then Oliver's going to pick up the pace.
All right.
And just bounding along. Marcus might have to like jog to keep up, sort of thing, but definitely moving as quickly as he can without, running.
All right. Even with the quickened pace, it is turning into twilight as you kind of start getting into like the outskirts of the town. Now, the question is, do you want to go in at night or are you gonna wait?
Is there like an abandoned house sitting anywhere that we can shelter in for the night?
You can make another perception check.
I we don't have any food anymore, so it'd still be better to try to find people before the day ends. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking a point of exhaustion. 16.
So, as you're kind of looking in the area, you don't really find a house that's like that as accommodating as what you see before. It looks like to be like maybe a guard post.
Okay. Yeah, but anything that is like 4 walls and a roof and a door. That's basically what Oliver's looking for right now, and isn't currently on fire.
Yeah, and it looks like it's
Previously on fire is fine.
It's kind of lifted off the ground a bit. There's like a ladder leading up to it.
Ooh, perfect. I don't know if zombies can climb ladders, but I hope not. Yeah, no, Oliver will motion to Marcus and then scurry up the ladder. He might even have a knife in his teeth just in case there's something up there, but...
All right. Yep. As you
Also, he spent enough time on the boat that he can do the knife in the teeth thing.
Yeah. I say it's quite something that like anyone can really do, like especially like a soldier too, like.
Yeah.
So as you head up there, it's a simple like just seems like a watchtower or something like they would do, like it's not too like ornate or anything like that to poke out. It looks like this was like meant not to be seen. So like if any guards see any suspicious people coming, they can like give a warning really fast.
Okay.
But
Seems perfect, honestly.
yeah. But there's seemingly no one there. It seems to be abandoned.
No bodies, nothing.
No bodies. You do see a chest, but it's like it's open with like supplies taken out of it.
So there are no supplies of any kind up here. Okay.
You can make an investigation check just in case there's like anything like.
Yeah, I'll search for hidden compartments or a hidden supply closet or anything that might give us a meal tonight, so that I'm not. Which, by the way, we did a long rest, so I have healed up back up to full health.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yep.
All right, 7 because not smart boy.
Sadly, from what you can't really find anything. Whoever went here and whoever got here before you, it seems like they cleaned out the place pretty darn well.
Any thieves can't?
You can make a well, nothing that you can see. It's dark, so it's kind of hard to see any scratch marks.
So whoever cleared it out, probably not my nephew. All right, then. From the elevated position, he's going to look out over the town. Can the guard post see the town?
Yeah, it can see the town. It can kind of just peek over the wall.
Okay, he's going to have a quick glance, see if he might be able to spot any buildings that seem inhabited.
From what you can see, it's a very grim scene. There's buildings on fire. You don't really hear screams, either because they're too far or maybe there's nothing left. You can see kind of a slight glow from the town as it just seems.
But the pillaging is still happening, though.
You can't really see any bodies moving. None living or non-dead, or nothing living or nothing dead.
It is possible that we missed my nephew entirely, and that he is already in Forlorn. But I also doubt that. I have a gut feeling that Theo is still in the city, is still in the town. I don't know whether that's right or not. Fuck. Oliver's gonna... I'm assuming Marcus is like up in the guard post already. He's already off the rope.
Yeah, he's looking into it as well, kind of getting his own little 2 cents, saying, "Looks like it's based on like how much is being burned here, it seems like this is kind of recent.
Agreed, which means, unfortunate though it may seem, it would seem that our search may not be able to wait for the morning. The survivors may need our help now.
But here's the strange thing too. I don't hear any screams.
Of course, but that could be more, a matter of stealth. After
True.
all, think of our group. We've barely been making any noise.
Yeah, but this is a village too. And if I'm not
True.
mistaken, this should have been populated.
You raise a good point. Rather suspicious, but all the same, I must also point out the fact that we do not have any food or drink, and that if we settle down for the night, we'll most certainly be starving by morning. Considering the lack of sound, it's very possible that our best bet is, in fact, to go try to reunite, or at least scavenge.
All right, I'll trust in your assessment.
This is dangerous.
That was a meme, the fucking Simpsons meme.
I'm in danger. Yeah, no, Oliver's going back down the ladder.
All right, so you head into the
Terrible an idea as it is, but we're doing it.
So as you head into the town, it is in sunders. Flames are roaring. The cracks and snaps of the wood foundation of what used to be houses. As you kind of pass by, you do see burning corpses inside them. Not just that you're able to see them more clearly. Unfortunate families that are caught up in the mayhem that transpired. The town isn't too big. It seems to be quite poor, but still quite populated. You can assume. No.
Oliver's gonna have a quick glance around, see if there's like a fairly sturdy stick that is not currently on fire somewhere. About 2 feet long, about roughly. And if he can find something like that, this is grim, but it just might work.
All right.
So
you find like a broken shaft of a spear.
that'll do. So, grim fact of the day: when a human burns, if it burns hot enough, the fat does not just burn. It does not melt. It melts. It melts and it turns into a puddle.
Oh.
I'm going to use the shaft of the spear, find one of these puddles, and turn it into a torch.
All right. Yeah. I'll definitely allow it. That's metal enough for me not to warrant a roll. Quite honestly.
It's grim, and actually, if I can find a scrap of cloth or something to wrap around and to like soak the fat up, then that's all the better. But if it's just a stick soaked in fat, then that's fine too.
Yeah, it's just
Either way, a torch to be used for exploring anything that is not currently on fire.
Yeah, and as you're doing this, Marcus, it's just like, by the gods. Oh, what?
Unfortunate though it may seem, I can assure you that these people are not in need of it anymore. And there are times in life where the needs of the living must outweigh the needs of the dead.
I understand. Ugh.
Yeah, morality aside, I understand it still may turn the stomach. If you need to find somewhere private for a second, I get it.
No. We need to keep going.
Agreed.
So, if you're looking for anything, any signs of like, if Seal the Third is here or anything like that.
Definitely keeping an eye out for my crest, but also just looking around for any anything that doesn't seem that badly burned. Any place I might find supplies or rations or food.
All right, I need you to make me a perception check then. I want to say
Okay.
investigation.
Yeah, so you're saying perception, not investigation?
Yep, perception.
Okay. Then that is a 21.
Damn, Jesus Christ. So you
I love these rolls. They're so perfect.
from most of the buildings here are made of wood, which is quite unfortunate. It seems the flames are starting to spread a bit. If not,
Yeah,
some
and
buildings are
medieval
already burnt down.
medieval towns, the buildings were typically like inches apart sort of thing. So,
But as you kind of start to head into the middle of town, you do see a couple buildings that seem promising. One
Ooh.
that you assume to be the Lord's place of this area, or the tax collector, is made out of stone and seems to be resistant to the lashing flames. But you also
Very
see
nice.
a church. Quite a sizable church, not too big, not too small, probably medium size. As you see the doors they seem to be barricaded. Like, kind of like a small chain as they start to slowly it seems like something's pushing on them rhythmically
from the inside?
from the inside.
Ah. Don't dead open inside. So those are the two buildings that we have options for right now.
Yep.
I'm going to I'm going to stealthily approach the church door, try to figure out if whatever's pushing on it is someone trying to actively barricade it, or if it is a zombie attempting to get out.
All right, can you make me a stealth check, please?
Okay.
Actually, I need you to
Behold, as I fuck this up. 18.
Nice.
Did
Now,
not fuck it up.
Let me just give me 1 second. Crap! I actually turned the DPI down on my mouse. Why?
Oof. I mean, because you normally have your mouse set to like 9,000 DPI, and that's entirely too high.
I can't do it without it. It's actually like quite a problem now.
You cannot be precise with 9,000.
That's why I play Final Fantasy on.
Final Fantasy does not need the same precision as everything else. Not gonna lie to you. That's a nat 1.
So that's a nice roll.
Please tell me that was not Marcus's stealth check.
Sadly it was. So
Ah, shit.
Marcus kind of like stumbles over as his like warhammer kind of falls out of his sheath and kind of slams onto like the stone with a loud clang.
Does the thumping stop?
It stops for a split second before it's just boom, 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 boom. You hear it starts to rattle. You start to hear the moans, a lot of moans, and grunts and just wails. As something that just start banging through the door, you start to see the chains slowly start to rip as the individual links start to just break away.
All right. With that, I'm going to snatch the warhammer in one hand, grab Marcus's hand with the other, say, well, it appears it's time to go, and beeline towards the noble's house.
Yep. All right. As you go to the noble's house, you do see the door bust open as you see civilians start to pour out. But you also see...
Infected?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't just call them civilians,
Sorry.
dude. You gotta...
You start to see infected start to pour out. And can you make me a perception check, please?
Okay. If you killed off my nephew, I'm gonna be upset. That's a 9.
All right. You don't see anything.
I don't get to know. I'm gonna be majorly upsetty, but also that's life.
As you and Marcus just bust through the front door of the noble's house.
And then I'm immediately turning around, slamming any barricade I have. They got a wooden block in there that's going down. You got a chain, I'm deadbolt, whatever.
All right. You can make a perception check in the room right quick to see if there's anything that would be suitable to barricade the area.
15.
So you don't find too much. You do see like what seems to be like a big chest and maybe like a grand table. Like
Great. I'm going to motion for Marcus to like shove the table against the door.
he goes, got. Quickly drag the table.
And I'll help him with this.
All right. Don't really have to make a
Do,
strength check.
do the doors open inwards or outwards?
They seem to open inwards as y'all kind of bust through.
Good.
So, you put the table against. Are you putting it against the door?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have that chest there too.
Okay. How big is this table?
It's about like it seems like a 10-person table.
So a sizable thing. It probably weighed quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a
Seems like it probably makes a decent barricade.
definitely a decent barricade.
All right. Then did we like turn the table on its side then, or?
Yeah, like if you can describe how you like kind of put it against the door any way possible. It's kind of like
So I know a lot of them have like a narrow entrance hallway right next to the door.
Mhm.
If it is not like that, if it is just a door into a room, then I want to put it lengthwise turned on its side so that the actual table part is against the door.
Yeah,
with the legs sticking back out towards us.
Yeah, the door is flush to the wall. There's no hallway heading to the side of it. There is a hallway behind you though, so.
All right then. I want to do that. The surface of the table against the door, legs pointed towards us, and then I want to put the chest like between the legs of the table against the door.
All right.
And then I want to look inside the chest, see if there's supplies in there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you do find some stuff in there. You find some gold, like of course. From a noble, I'd say about like 20 pieces.
Hey, that's useless in the apocalypse, but you know what?
It's always fun.
I'm still a rogue. Money is still a thing.
You see some like food, some rations seem to be about like 5 days.
Perfect. That's what I've been waiting for.
You see some
5 days of rations.
Fine clothing.
And I got an additional torch, and then fine clothing that is useful for fabric. That is bandages, is what we've just found. All right, and he's gonna kind of just, Marcus, if you could please have a quick search of the first floor, see if there are any windows or anything else we need to be concerned about.
Got it. So he's quickly going out.
And he'll say this as he's searching the chest, and then I'm assuming a noble house, there probably multiple floors.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice big house.
Yeah, definitely gonna take everything out of that chest, and take a couple steps back, see if the dead are currently ramming against the door.
Oh yeah, they're ramming. Yeah, definitely ramming against the door. You hear like hear them banging against the door, and you can kind of hear them kind of circling around.
And does the door appear like how good this barricade holding? How well is the barricade?
Oh, can you say it one more time?
How well is the barricade holding up?
Let me do a quick roll real quick. It seems to be holding up quite well. Like you'd see it kind of like move like maybe a centimeter every so often, but that chest is heavy, and the table itself too is like thick wood.
Is it gonna hold for 8 hours?
Make an intelligence check, I will say.
Fuck. Dumb rabbit, not good at these things.
Because this was just like a quick like, oh fuck.
That's a 16 anyways. How's it looking there, Chief?
Possibly, maybe if like if they were like banging on it as they are now, maybe not. But if they were to maybe like get distracted or walk away, then maybe.
Yeah, I'm betting a lot of them are gonna lose interest. So just once it's moved a couple of centimeters, he'll kind of like push it all back a little bit if he can.
Okay. Yeah, this is a couple
And just
centimeters.
kind of
So
keep
it's
the
like,
barricade up to standard. And once that's done, he's gonna Oliver's actually gonna go have a poke around the second floor.
okay.
Just, what do I see?
Immediately as you head up into the second floor, you see a body.
Ah, fun. Nobleman.
Nobleman. And it's kind of dark, it's hard to see unless you point. You have your torch, so you would have seen it.
Yeah.
It seems like shattered remains of an instrument.
Can I identify what instrument?
Yeah, it's quite easy actually. It seems like a broken half of a lyre.
Oh, fuck you. What race is the dead man?
The dead man is human.
Okay.
But the instrument itself.
You can't be doing me like that.
The instrument itself that you see plunged into the man's head, unless you investigate it.
I will investigate it. Yes, actually. You didn't mention that it plunged into the head part, which implies that this instrument did not belong to the nobleman.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, start.
19. That is a nat 20, mind you.
You recognize it. You recognize this instrument. The
Yes.
ship. This is from your nephew Theo. Theo the Third.
And it is broken in half, he said?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to extract it from the man's... Well, first of all, I'm going to quickly take a knife, plunge it into the throat just to make sure he ain't coming back.
Gotcha.
You know, I still can't be too careful. I still don't know how this virus works.
Gotcha.
And, then I'm going to extract the lyre from the man's head and see if there's any way I might be able to repair it at some point. If it's like full dunzo, then it's probably beyond my expertise, but
like, the main problem is you don't see the second half of it.
Oh.
It's like broken.
I found half the lyre, not the other half. Okay. Then I'll extract the half that I do know where it is, and then I will continue searching.
Yeah. You see a hallway, and as you head down the hallway, you see a blood trail on the wall.
Leading where?
As you follow it, you can kind of see that it's like a handprint. It's kind of like someone who's put their hand on the wall and kind of like slowly moving across.
All right. I'm going to measure it against my own. See if I can determine the race of the person based on their handprint.
Oh, that's a hard.
It's a long shot. It's a long shot, mind you, but
you can make an intelligence check.
Or at least figure out if it's similar to my own.
Okay. Yeah, can you make that?
That is a 13.
You find like it seems like in similar sizes, but sometimes it seems to be like a tad bit smaller or bigger. It seems like it's a little bit hard to tell, but you can kind of assume just from finding the instrument and seeing this, you can probably assume that it's related.
Yeah, the blood is most likely of rabbit folk origin.
And this is a long.
Have I heard anything from Marcus? Because at this point, it's probably been a couple minutes.
You haven't really heard anything from him, though it could be from. Stone is actually it's quite an effective way to absorb sound, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, so I might not have been able to hear if he called for help at this point.
Yeah.
All right, before I go any further, I am going to go back down and get Marcus, assuming that he's finished his sweep.
Yeah, and as you kind of head down, you still kind of hear like a struggle happening.
Oh. Yeah, no. Setting the lyre down as sneakily as possible, drawing 2 knives from the bandolier, and then moving in.
All right.
Stealth.
All right, make that stealth check for me.
18.
Nice. So, yeah, they don't hear you. So, as you're moving through the first floor, you're going down the hallway that Marcus went down, there's another door that's kind of slightly ajar. This one being seemingly metal for some reason, which is interesting. But as you go through, you do see it's a kitchen. And as you go in, you see Marcus doing the finishing blow on 3 infected that seem to get the jump on them. You see his arm.
3?
Yeah. There's 2 on the ground dead, with him finishing the last one. You see blood running down his arm.
All right. I'm going to quickly. I'm going to let him finish off the infected before I reveal my presence.
All right.
But I am going to have a look at the arm, figure out if that is a bite wound.
Make the perception check for me.
Or actually, on the nobleman, was that a scratch or was that a bite? Do I remember?
On a nobleman?
Yeah, on the nobleman that we had to kill earlier. Was he bitten?
It looked like the nobleman was bitten. Like, the one,
okay.
The one that you had to... Yeah, the one... Yeah.
So, for now, it does seem like it is biting that transfers the disease.
From what you can tell...
From my character's experience, that seems to be a fair statement.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yes, I'm going to look at it and determine whether that is a scratch or a bite on Marcus's arm. Because I don't think I could take him.
So, as he slams down the warhammer, he's just kind of sitting there huffing and just goes, fuck, as he just like holds his arm. And
so
I would say like just from his reaction, you can kind of assume what it could be.
Well, this is quite a predicament then, isn't it?
Yeah.
My apologies, I didn't hear the commotion upstairs. Is it what I think it is?
You're fine, and... Yeah. The little fuckers came out of nowhere. I can't react fast enough, sadly.
How far down the arm is it?
It's like on his it's not forearm.
Shoulder?
It's fuck, where is that? What is that called? Shoulder, between the elbow and shoulder.
Shoulder and the elbow?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bicep?
yeah, bicep area.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
It's in his bicep.
Oof, that's a nasty one. Well, if the wound is fresh, there is something we could try. It may not have had time to spread yet.
I don't know. If you're suggesting of amputation, well, I don't know if that's very valuable right now. Sadly, I really want it to be, but I would die either way. We have no medical supplies here.
Who took the alcohol? Do I have the alcohol on me?
It was not stated. I can't really...
It was not stated, so yeah, if you want to... I did mention it in my speech that, hey, this is valuable medical supplies.
Yeah,
but I'm guessing one of the group probably took it, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, and that's my fault as a player for not stating as such. God damn it. Okay. Well, there is the gruesome option, and he's going to hold up his torch. There's a dead nobleman upstairs. We could use the... We could bind the wound and cauterize it with this.
We can try then.
I'm not sure I'm going to have the... Actually, so he has like a great axe, right?
He has a warhammer. Like a
warhammer. That's not good for amputation. Nor is a dagger or a rapier.
Yep. This man...
The dagger's the best option, and even then, that is unbelievably metal and gory and brutal.
Yeah, quite honestly, like, it's like the situation with the guy who got his hand stuck in like or his arm stuck in a boulder.
Yeah, the 31 hours or whatever it was.
Yeah. And this guy is like buff.
All right. Well, I'm deeply sorry about this, but it would appear that amputation is the only chance that we have of saving your life.
Well, either way, I guess we can try. As you see, kind of revealing the wound, you see the veins start to blacken, like not as fast as you saw the nobleman, but still quite noticeable speed going up his arm.
All right. And it's already like in the area between, so I don't have much time.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to immediately hold my one of my unlucky knives in the fire. Not my lucky knife. I'm not risking it on this shit. I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen that way.
Yep.
I don't want that with the blood of my friends. That'll curse my luck. And you know what? Yeah, sure. Oliver's superstitious. He's a soldier / sailor. He's superstitious. So yeah, no, holding the knife in the fire, and then just like with all of his might, just a downward chop at, like, I believe the shoulder is a ball and socket joint. Well, Oliver obviously wouldn't know this, but
yeah, you're just doing
just
it where like
downward chop at just beyond the shoulder.
All right, make me a strength check because this is.
Yeah, this is straight up just how much raw force. 15.
You can't get it in there, but it's getting stuck. Like you may have hit the bone, like on the bone exactly, and
yeah, I'm gonna have to go through the bone. Is the other part.
It didn't seem like it made it far.
Then he's gonna pull the knife out, heat it up again, and do it again. He's going to keep doing this until it either works or it made it past the shoulder, at which point it's he's kind of done.
All right, make another check.
16.
It's when you feel a bit more progress. You start to you feel the cracking of the bone as it kind of splinters, but it's still it's like the beginning portion of okay, I got to the bone, I splintered a portion of it, but I gotta keep going.
How close is it now?
It's the base.
Should we set a certain number of checks?
Yeah, I have a certain number of checks in my head.
Okay.
That you can do.
Okay.
I'm also taking into the fact that just out character already said it when he said he had rage. He is a barbarian, so he's thicker than usual. Than the usual person.
He has an exceptionally high con, which means this is going to be harder. How's he reacting to the pain of it? I know he is barbarian, but having your arm severed is a brutal medical procedure under the best of circumstances, and these are very far from it.
You see him kind of just biting down on his teeth. You kind of see blood coming out a bit, and he's holding on to one of the stone tables or one of the stone counters, and it starts to kind of crack. He is in extreme pain.
He's Oliver's gonna try something new. Is the bite wound? I'm assuming he bare forearms, right? Or actually, no. Let me check his model. He does have those cotton sleeves, but at this point, have them. I would assume ripped off.
Yeah,
for the purposes of trying to sever the arm.
Yeah.
All right. He's going to put the torch very close to the bite wound. Right. Try to keep things that's just where it's gonna stay while he's trying to do this.
Okay.
Try to delay the progress of the poison. I don't know if fire does anything. Oliver doesn't either. I could not tell you. I'm just racking my brain trying to come up with any idea to try to save this guy. Because as I mentioned, I don't think Oliver is making it out of this by himself. Oliver is aware of this.
As you're doing this, sadly, it doesn't seem to be slowing the process down.
All right, then he's just gonna swing again.
All right,
try to get through the bone. 12. Worse.
You don't really make any progress on this one. The black veins are getting closer.
Then he's just gonna swing. I mean, there's nothing else he can do here.
All right.
Heating the knife a little bit each time. 15 again.
It makes a bit more. Still not enough. It seems like it's still not enough progress to really outpace veins itself. As it
But he
seems like you can make one more check to see if you can, but even then, you're barely at the halfway point.
All right, then. I'm going to drop the torch, hold the knife in both hands, and just stab downward with every ounce of my might.
All right.
I am going to use my inspiration for this.
Gotcha.
If I don't know if double handing it is going to help in any way, but like I am pulling all the plugs on this.
All right.
18.
Ooh, give me 1 second. Man, this is the worst place for me, but I have to use the restroom really fast.
Okay. Which means, our dear viewers, that you get to hang out with me in suspense. Man, he could not have timed that worse. Literally the last check to determine if Marcus dies. Oh, fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. I truly do hope that Theo is in this village. And I truly do hope that Oliver is able to find Theo before the worst comes to worst. And knowing Marcus, he does seem ready to accept the fact that he might not be making it out of this, and he does seem ready to sacrifice himself if the need be. But, Jesus. If this is actually where Marcus meets his end, that is depressing and it hurts me. And I won't keep that from you viewers, that this is gonna hurt if Marcus dies here. I'm genuinely sad about this.
Oh, you're genuinely sad about this?
Yeah.
So, that's good. That means I made this character correctly. That's good.
Yeah.
But, so, as you give down with just all your might, I would assume like you kind of give like a small, like just like a yell, just like to really put some oomph on it.
Yeah. Literally just no strength being held back here.
Alright. So as you cut through, you're able to just rend that knife. Because, like, you kind of still feel that bone. There's still some bone there, but you didn't just pull, breaking the last half of it. The arm is now just hanging on, like, some tendons.
All right, quickly severing the tendons. Just does it make it across though? Are those tendons blackened?
You see the tendons are blackened, but if it got to the body or not is kind of a mystery at the moment.
Then I'm severing the tendons. If there's any chance that this is staying, then I'm taking it.
Alright, give me 1 second. I also have to make a check for this guy.
And also, I'm sure he's bleeding incredibly right now, and I do need to pick up that torch and cauterize.
Alright,
Because otherwise he's just going to bleed out and die, and all my efforts will be for naught. Whoo, that barbarian constitution.
Yeah, he stays.
That is a 23 for the viewers.
Yeah, 23 for that constitution check. He does stay conscious for the severing of his arm, but you hear like some of his teeth kind of just crack and pop.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
The final, like tendon cut. Like,
Yeah. But immediately after that is there, it's immediately after the arm falls to the ground. First of all, Oliver's kicking it away, and then he's like just plunging the torch into the bloody stump.
Yeah. As you do so, he's like, good. He just falls over and passes out. I made a separate check for the fire.
Okay, good. So you said that the room that we're in has a heavy metal door.
Yep.
Does it lock from the inside or the outside?
It simply locks from the inside.
Are there any windows in this room? I mean, the infected got in somehow. Where did they come in from?
Oh my Lord. Maxie, why? Why are you... Okay, from what you can see, there are windows, but they don't seem to be broken. They seem to be elevated off the ground.
So where do I think the infected got in from? Like, I'm gonna investigate this room and just kind of
Okay.
because I can't be sure that I got it all out, and so I need to sleep and see how he's doing in the morning. And I need to make sure that there is a locked door between the two of us, just in case worst comes to worst.
All right. Yeah, remember, you did find that liar upstairs.
Well, fuck, that's a 5.
You have no idea. You're just kind of looking around like, where the fuck do these things come from? Doesn't seem to be a back door. Doesn't seem to be broken windows. This is, quite honestly, a fucking Sherlock's Holmes type mystery to you.
Yeah, that's fair. With a 5, that is perfectly fair. But whatever the case may be, so from my perspective, the most obvious answer is in fact that they came in through the door, right? Like, as far as I can tell, there are no other entrances, so
Well,
the open door.
to the kitchen, yeah, but if you give a cursory glance to the front door, it's still closed.
Yeah. Shit. Because I can't leave him in here. The infected have been in here. And I can't leave him in the same room as me because he might turn. I'm going to have a quick look around the first floor, try to find the most secured room that I can find.
Okay.
If it locks from the outside, all the better.
All right.
Do I? So what roll would that be?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Also, it is 11:20. We do need to call this soon.
Yeah. There's
That's a
one
15.
more thing I want you to see before you call it.
Okay.
15. You find like a small closet. Looks like for cleaning supplies were put in. It is locked from the outside.
Small supply closet. No windows or anything. Locked from the outside.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna move the gigantic slumbering corpse of slumbering form of this bartender into the supply closet. Lock it up. Before I lock it, I'll just kind of softly say, I do apologize for this, but precautions must be taken even after the surgery, if you can even call it that. Then I'm gonna shut and lock the door, check on the front barricade, and then head up to the second floor, try to find a similarly secured room up there.
All right. Front barricade. There's a lot less knocking. Maybe some like a little bit renewed vigor from hearing the scream, but other than that, it doesn't seem like it's moving. It's quite budging.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna head up to the second floor to see if I can find a lock from the inside this time, but a windowless room with no other doors, just the one.
All right, but as you're doing so, you pass by the blood trail and you start to hear a rhythmic knock. It goes.
Right, the blood trail. Okay.
It goes boom.
Then yes, I will follow the blood trail.
All right, and
yeah, or I'm assuming the rhythmic knock is coming from the direction of the blood trail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I'll investigate that first. Forget the locked room idea. I need to find if my nephew's still alive.
You hear a boom, boom, boom. As you get closer to it, it becomes more pronounced. You see from the ornate wooden door, there's a symbol of a lion on it. You can assume that this is maybe the master bedroom. As you see the door kind of visibly shake a bit. Not like it's being like forcibly like bludgeoned, but like it's just a constant knock.
And the blood trail leads directly to this door?
Yes.
Then 2 knives out, I am opening the door. Well, one knife in my left arm, right arm opening the door.
As you open the door...
Or actually, no, before I do that, I want to try to listen at the door, see if, like, I'm assuming it's a zombie, but let's see if it's just one.
Wait. Make a perception. Yeah, make a perception.
Okay. Because if it's just one, 14. I can probably take him.
Yeah. As you listen to the door, you hear just one raspy kind of. It sounds like something's like in its throat, like a liquid of some sort, almost like bronchitis. You know, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of behind the door.
And I do just hear the one, so.
You just hear one.
And where do I think this door leads? Is this another room in the house, or is this an outside?
This is another room in the house. The ornate door, I would kind of assume it would be like the master bedroom.
All right, then I will open the door.
As you open the door, horrified to your deepest fears, you see the familiar figure of your dear nephew.
Ah, shit.
Once lively, is now eyes sunken in, color gone. You see a chunk of his neck missing, with his fur matted with the blood coming out. A mixture of red and black as it still is kind of running. He looks onto you and lunges. I need you to roll initiative. And
yeah, and if I lose initiative, I might actually just give him a surprise round, because I'm not sure I can do this, at least not until he's done a little bit of damage. I'd say 23.
let me pull
Let me roll again, so it's actually in the tracker here. Actually, I can just change this value. 23. Boom.
I'm gonna get rid of Esther, Lilith, and Marcus. What was his 5? So you clearly go first. Unless you want to give him the surprise.
I'm going to give him the surprise round, even though I know he's there. Just
The shock.
the shock of seeing my nephew as a zombie. I can't make the first move.
He's gonna make a slam attack.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
A 17, it does.
He does 3 damage to you.
Okay. Cunning action allows those 3. Great. I need to remember these.
Now it is your turn.
As he bashes into my arm, as he kind of bashes into my chest, I'm gonna stumble a step or two back, and then just in almost an instant, the soldier instinct kicks in, and just as with the loss of Theo II, that despair turns to just pure rage, unadulterated, like anime eyes glow rage. And I'm just gonna my right hand is going to draw an additional knife. Which is that my object interaction? Is that a free action?
Yeah.
Okay, and my left hand is just gonna slash, not going for the throat anymore, just at the chest, the arm, the head, anything I can reach.
Okay.
Just looking to inflict pain upon this monster that is daring to take the form of my nephew.
Alright. Roll the hit then.
Does an 11 hit?
It sadly does not.
Then I swipe again with my bonus action.
Gotcha.
Does a 16 hit?
It does.
For 2 piercing.
Yeah. You kind of just in this blind rage, you slash about on him. The first blow doesn't surface damage on his chest, but the second one gets kind of deepening the cut onto his neck. He's gonna make another attack.
Okay.
Does a 6 hit? I guess not.
It does not. It does not.
As he kind of just gives his arm kind of hits against the wall as he does like a light hit onto your chest. Nothing really damaging, nor even make you stumble.
Yeah. All right. As his arm hits the wall, I want to use my left hand to try to like stab into it and pin it there
Okay.
with the left-handed dagger.
All right.
Does a 17 hit?
17 does indeed hit. I will ask you to do an additional roll, like with strength, since you're trying to stab
Okay.
into stone.
Yeah, and even if it just kind of clangs off the stone, just
Yeah, it's still damage.
yeah. All right, so that's 8 points of piercing, and then so strength check for the actual pinning it. That is a natural 1. So
That unlucky. That's the unlucky knife, right?
the left hand is the lucky knife.
Oh, well.
It's still hit though.
It still hit. I would say it completely breaks, but the tip of it is now. You do hear like
Blunted.
Yeah, you hear like a snapping of the metal as you see the tip of it kind of just go onto the floor. You can still use it, but it may be reduced damage.
Okay, that's fair. And even if you had said it had shattered, Oliver's going through knives faster than any character I've ever seen in an RPG before.
Yeah,
I
well,
completely
it's
understand. And the lucky knife
understandable, too.
the lucky knife just got invented today, I will add.
Plus,
That
it's
is purely
understandable,
this
too,
session.
like,
If
you're
the
kind of
entire
like...
if the entire story of the lucky dagger is contained to one session, I am okay with that.
Plus, you're also like you're in like a blind rage at the moment, so
Yeah. Like I don't have any levels in barbarian, so it's not a true rage.
but it's
But
just
if
like you don't
if
hear.
I was a barbarian, I'd be in involuntary rage right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like you don't hear anything around you. You're kind of just like all you see is just him.
No, my ears are fully back against my head. My vision is bloodshot. I am just stabbing. And then is the attempt at the pin, is that my bonus action, or can I still swipe with my other dagger?
So I'll give it a bonus action. Yeah, that was your bonus action.
So I cannot make the other attack?
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right.
So then it is his turn.
Yep, he's gonna make another attempt. Slam. Does a 12 hit?
It does not.
And he's kind of going off the same hand this time. Like it's just leaving like the hand you try to pin. He kind of like stumbles back a bit and tries to hit you with that same hand again, but it kind of just leaves a smear of blood onto your shirt, your leather armor.
Then I'm going to drop the left-handed dagger, draw the actual rapier, because with the sound of metal crunching against stone, with the hits that we've inflicted on each other already, like I said, the soldier reflex is kicking in, and now it is sharpening. He is beginning to regain his senses here, and it's not. His swipes are getting a little bit more targeted, a little bit more cruel, almost.
Yeah, it's precise.
Yeah, draw the dagger.
Going for the
Draw the with the rapier with my object interaction, and then just one thrust, hopefully. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But that is a 9, so I'm assuming it does not hit.
It does not hit. Sadly, you kind of just stab into his shoulder. You do kind of like pierce the collarbone, but knowing the type of enemy it is, it doesn't really do much.
Yeah. And I'll just follow it up with another slash with my offhand dagger.
All right.
Does a artificial 20 hit?
It does indeed hit.
For 3 more points of piercing damage.
All right.
So I'm not doing a ton of damage right now, but I am still hitting.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like thematically, it does make sense.
Yeah.
He rolled a natural 1. So as you do that, he like kind of like tries to go in for another hit, but kind of just falls into the ground. Kind of like lost his balance.
So he's prone now?
He is currently on the ground prone.
Okay. Then, yeah, Oliver's not one to throw away an opportunity. He is going to make another attack with the rapier. Just
Alright.
Rapier up and down. Add advantage due to prone, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Which means I can use my sneak attack. Which means this is hopefully the killing blow. That is a natural 20.
God damn.
That could not perfectly timed. For 15, 19 points of damage.
I guess describe how you do it. Yeah, that
As I said, at this point, the reflex has sharpened. He is back to, he knows how to fight. He knows that he just blew a weapon to Kingdom Come there. And now he wants this creature dead.
Alright.
And with the cold, like not cold, it is still white hot, but with like the methodical stroke of a trained soldier, of a trained killer. This is what he does. Just the rapier comes up from its missed attack the previous round and just straight down, straight through the neck, straight through the spine.
And as you do so, the image of your nephew before he was infected kind of flashes through your mind as you do the finishing blow, feeling the spinal column shatter as it is now over.
And as the adrenaline leaves his body, he can't bring himself to move anymore. He's currently sitting in the nobleman's room, right?
Yeah.
He's just gonna slump down onto the bed and just pass out and cry.
All right.
Because that has taken everything from him. His family is likely dead. The one person he had been hoping to save is gone. Even the man who came here with him may or may not live. There is nothing more for him in this town but pain. And he no longer wishes to see the rest of this night through.
All right. And that's where we're end the session.